Greetings, subjects. Greetings and welcome to you, brave citizens of our new world. It is I, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat. This is our Lair 4.0, and tonight I am once again your kind and benevolent DM, as we delve into the world of Dungeons & Dragons, accompanied by our very own, our wonderful B-Team.
No.
Not the bees.
Hold on. Yeah, B-Team! Mr. Classic
My
Magic
God.
has just subscribed for 3 months, currently on a 2-month streak. Thank you, Mr. Classic Magic. All of your support is deeply appreciated. But yeah, we've got ourselves a good time lined up for all of you lovely people down at home, and let's get on through our list of adventurers. Up, of course, top of the list that I've got sitting here in front of me, just by the names that I've got at the bottom of the screen. They have chosen the bees!
With the,
We've got ourselves Esteban, a.k.a. Telrand, our skeleton archer.
Talon, the skeleton ranger, who now needs to figure out whether or not he can hide a beehive inside his ribcage.
Oh, God. Oh, have you guys seen that movie Candyman?
Oh,
Remember Candyman, you guys?
I'm scared to ask now.
What?
It was a movie about, like, a crazy sort of voodoo witch doctor guy who was hunting a woman, and his entire, like, they thought he was like just hard to kill or whatever, but he was like an undead voodoo witch doctor who had like a beehive taking up pretty much his torso. And yeah, it was, I think there was like 2. It was like had like a sequel. I saw it once when I was like a little kid, and I was like, fuck. Like, 'cause it capitalized on everybody's fear of zombies, bees, and black people all at once.
That just sounds like a heckin' big oof.
Yeah,
man.
it was that was like an 80s, 90s movie, so that stuff was a lot more in swing then than it is now.
I got the
But
zombies and bees.
yeah. So, yeah, getting a beehive into your ribcage would be interesting. Sir, are you buzzing? Like, tries to muffle the bees? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I have the biggest grin on my face right now.
That would kill people immediately.
Somebody stabs into my chest. Yes, I see you've chosen the bees.
Like, excuse me. Ah! Bees rush out.
Would you like to upgrade to hornets?
Oh.
No, I'm just reminded by that, what was it, that Werner Herzog animation or whatever? It's just, you have joined the learning channel, and now it's time for Angry Ticks, fire out my nipples.
Oh, God.
I'm reminded of this.
Oh, God,
I'm reminded of
remember
this one time. I'm reminded of this one time that I played a Zelda randomizer that I turned on an option that made it so every time I defeated an enemy, there was a chance that it just summoned a swarm of bees.
Bees.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
They have chosen the bees.
Bees.
Should we continue with the?
All right,
Yes.
introduction.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, we've got also Rainer, who's here playing Drekir, our black/red draconian sorcerer man.
I now need to find out if there's any bee-based magic.
These are bred draconian men.
Bee-based magic.
Yeah.
Summon animal.
You, sir, play a dangerous game. Play a dangerous game, John Constantine.
Tonight is just going to be the night of endless bee jokes.
Hey, insect swarm was a spell.
Insect
It
Swarm
was-
is a spell. What do you mean was?
What?
I didn't know in 5.0. I knew in 3.5 it was a spell.
Still is. But yes, we have ourselves a wonderful day lined up for everybody. Hello. So yeah. And following up next on our list, we've got Keldaka Gray, who's playing our kobold cleric named Snick.
Snick will knife you.
Fuck. Snick will fucking cut you, bitch. Fucking watch what you say around the king's boy. And we've got Quad playing Alloy, our warforged warrior.
I will not be bringing the bees today.
And we've got Palanthir playing Caleb, our Air Genasi rogue.
According to all no laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small, and its fat little body, it will never get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible.
I thought you were a rogue, not a wizard.
And last but certainly not least, we've got
And right, mommy,
Ambisaurus,
I'm whatever.
who's playing Piffles, our goblin bard.
Emmy!
It's you!
Emmy!
Yeah!
Emmy!
Mm,
Meow.
Piffles.
Piffles. So yes, we have now continued our wonderful adventure as we're going on. When last we left off, our B team was out in the field. They had just finished fighting off Bromo Nubs and his gang and have stepped into the open, lush, beautiful fields, entering properly the territory belonging to the Empire of Men.
I would just like to take a moment to say I'm still a little salty over the fact that if Bromo Nubs had rolled one lower, he'd be dead right now.
Yep.
Oh, we'll get him later.
With his own damn bagpipes.
It's just the fact that we could have killed him by making him shit himself to death.
You could have got, and then I would have been able to tell my friend who originally came up with the character that, like, hey, by the way, so I decided to bring Bromo Nubs into a game, and the players made him shit himself to death.
While hallucinating. You
While
trip balls and then
hallucinating
you
wildly.
shit yourself
Yeah.
to death.
He would
It's
have
gotta
been-
be the worst.
He would have died very badly. So that would have been for an interesting conversation at the very least, like minimum.
Well, I think I'm going to be hearing this later tonight, so let's get this underway.
Gonna crack open a cold one.
Upon
Rip it
seeing
and
all
rip
the
it, baby, yeah.
upon seeing all the grass and hills, Piffles is gonna like drop to the ground and roll down. Like,
You can start rolling around on the grass.
It's gonna roll down the hill.
You can roll
Grass.
downhill, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like as you drop down, the grass in specific that you come into contact with is lush and soft and wonderful. And as you're rolling around in it,
I want it.
it is like almost magically or supernaturally wonderful here. It is just its own like sort of brand of amazing as you roll around in it. But yeah, anybody else want to take a roll in the grass?
Guys, you gotta try this. It's great. It's great. I mean, there's this fluffy stuff on the ground, and I mean, we don't have much of this in the Undercity. Do we have grass in the Undercity?
You do know what grass is. It's
But it's better than grass,
We have grass in the Undercity, but not this much.
and not this kind. And the sky is right there.
The air smells funny.
I'm going to take a quick perception check to make sure there's no one watching us.
yeah, roll me perception.
There we go.
Let's see.
Maybe.
21. Oh yeah, no, okay, so
jeez.
Drakir, you are like coming out. You are too distracted. You are basically in awe of the size of these lads. No, like you are in awe of like just how big and wonderful this place really is.
Right, 'cause I was born underground.
Yeah, because like
It's just
the kingdom
doing
has a sky, sure, and the kingdom has, you know, all of these other things that you could use.
I
has
don't think-
grass and like nature and all that, but it's not the same. There's something just more reverent about this, and it definitely takes you by surprise in that regard. Esteban, however, is from here, so he knows. He's a little less taken aback by the majestic beauty of nature. Right now, looking around, Esteban, there's no one that you can see at present, but you do know that right now you guys are in the open.
Ooh.
So you do need to be careful.
But we can also see.
Yeah, like, you can see them coming from a long distance, but they can also see you coming from a long distance. So, like, watch yourselves.
Any of those bushes. Ghillie suit.
Any of those bushes moves, you'll light that shit up.
You don't want to pull a Monty Python here, please, guys. No exploding the bushes just because they might be there.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those shackles do we still have? Forget.
How many? I mean, you guys got to keep a track of that in your inventory. I'm not sure.
We
Good question, Esteban, because Esteban knows. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
Esteban knows because Esteban's got the list. They should be in his inventory. What you got?
Launching a PDF, sorry.
That's okay. Take your time.
Do we have that much hazardous material? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
We have 2 sets of cuffs and keys each.
2 sets of cuffs and keys.
Each.
Like 2 cuffs, 2 keys. That's all. That's we had 4 and we sold.
Damn. So I just had the idea, like, I can't disguise myself very well. So what if I had altered one of the cuffs, like broken the enchantment on it, and then we could have used it as a disguise?
Maybe. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Oh, we should probably put disguises on, shouldn't we?
The cuffs only activated once the key was turned.
Oh, and hey, Mr. Classic Magic also donated $20. It says want them Dark Souls 2. I hope that it counted that you have that, because the way that the system works, it requires you to be watching for at least 20 minutes before it counts. I'm gonna quickly check that. Truth be told, like, I might do a big extravaganza where I'm like, everybody's got the last chance to get rid of all of their stuff, like all of their loyalty points and whatnot.
Oh, by the way,
This is getting to be a hassle.
We
Mr.
are
Classic
less
Magic,
than-
you have 32 points. There you go.
we are less than $300 away from Doc hitting his first milestone,
That's right.
which is him playing Death Row to Canada, stoned as hell.
Yeah, we're gonna, and then there we go. I got that set up properly, so you guys can buy tickets if you like. And on our raffle today, we've got Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin edition, as well as There Came an Echo. These games were donated to us by some of our lovely players. Esteban donated the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin edition, and Palanthir, just before we started streaming, donated There Came an Echo, a strategy military game where you have to verbally command your troops. Which is real fucking cool, if you ask me. So,
And by verbally command, you actually speak out loud into a microphone and tell your units what to do.
it is an interesting thing. I can see that going either really cool or just the worst. So I'm curious to see how it pans off in its own respect.
Enemy, man, 500 meters north.
No. It's more like what was it? Oh yeah, like switch to submachine gun and provide covering fire.
Yeah.
or advanced point alpha on my mark.
Yeah, you're looking at you look at them.
Advance.
You don't have to try and understand what they're saying, what's going on from what they're saying. That was a different game we were talking about.
Wait, which game?
But later, and I don't know off the top of my head.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, so there we have it. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Well, for now, I am going to rely on my illusion.
Minor illusion, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you create a sound or an image of an object within range that lasts for the duration. The illusion also ends if you dismiss it as an action, and that holds for a minute.
Yeah. Casting it, but it's cantrips.
That's true. It is an abjuration cantrip, so it is something that you can kind of just keep up as you go along. And yeah, the components for it are only somatic and material. So you have like a bit of fleece on you or whatever you have in your component pouch.
Because it does not cost money, my magic staff takes the place of the material component.
There you go. And as such, it gives you the ability to more or less kind of just continue doing it if you want to without having to say anything out loud. Which is cool.
Yep, so I'm going to use that to create the illusion of me being like a human or something along those lines. Something that'd be
like
accepted
that.
in the Empire.
Yeah,
Talron put on his wooden mask.
nice.
I just
He
hit
did
my
thoroughly scrub it at some point.
I kind of have to rely on an illusion because of my horns and
Snack just kind of puts his hood up.
Now, yeah, if you guys want to do, disguise self, which is that, and it lasts an hour. As you guys are going along, like, I'm gonna let, Esteban, I'm gonna let you keep that, like, really good roll that you did for perception.
Okay. I wasn't
Just
planning
so
on-
that
Yeah.
for the next, like, couple of hours as you guys enter into the Empire's territory proper, that you have in front of you, like, the ability to sort of figure yourself out and defend yourself if the need should arrive.
Alloy just wraps his
I
head in
mean-
the cloth that he has.
Yeah, we went to that one shop though and picked up some gear. I remember getting a hat
Mm-hmm.
to tuck my ears under because they got those big ol' gobble ears. So
You
gotta
do
put those
got
away.
them big gobbo ears, that's true.
Big ol' gobble ears. So we're all putting on our disguises then. I can't just but the grass in my ears.
Well, I mean, you guys don't see anybody right now, so you're free to walk and travel, but you do need to, like, definitely keep your eyes up and stay alert, because it could potentially be very dangerous.
I'll tell you what, I have gloves. All I have to do is just either put the hood up or like put on some makeup from the Skies kit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do both. Just put some makeup on, just make myself look more human, then just put the hood up.
Yeah. So as you put on, like, a bit more of the makeup and whatnot that you get your hands on, like, you definitely put on a bit more of that stuff. Like, it helps to hide you. But give me a disguise check.
All right, disguise.
He's not very good at sneaking. We'll see how good he is at disguising.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me every episode.
It's not the fault.
Wouldn't disguise fall under deception?
Okay,
I
just have to
mean, it
check that.
could.
Wouldn't it be performance?
It's a deception
Performance.
charisma check,
Deception or
so it'd be
performance?
trying to lie
I mean-
to somebody's face, right?
Technically,
Whereas
technically, if you're proficient in the disguise kit, that's supposed to be like a charisma plus proficiency bonus because of the disguise kit, which would be the same as having a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So wait, what? So what? Am I just clicking on disguise kit then?
Okay, so here let's actually look that up because we're gonna be doing that a lot.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to hide ourselves.
Yeah. There's like spells that are like disguise self, and then proficiencies, disguise kit. Disguise kit just gives you proficiencies in stuff like many of the tools do. It just makes it so that you can do a certain thing without needing to be proficient in it, specifically. There we go.
Reddit suggests that it would be an intelligence check,
Mm-hmm.
which makes perhaps the most sense because
Visual disguise.
it's
Yeah.
not your personality. It's not your ability to have dexterity.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably either like charisma or intelligence to do a disguise kit.
Doc's the final call.
Like just off the top of my head, because like thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know why that wouldn't be something that people have already, right? Like,
Well, I think intelligence may go to like the application of said makeup or disguise. Just okay, does this look good? Does this look good? Does this look good? Charisma
Does
would
this
be
make
like
me look fat?
Charisma would be
thank you. Yeah,
making
pulling off a different persona.
Yeah, it's what charisma would be making the disguise convincing.
yeah. Sorry, the music cut out there because I had to refresh my page. There we go. Wow.
Mercenary.
All right, so
Fortunately, we did not bring the
Switches his
Fedora.
tail behind him and shrugs. Yeah, well, if things get bad, maybe you'll just have to, like, jump in a knapsack or something. like, real
Oh
quick.
man. So in the chat, Merc was like, if only we had a large trench coat and a fedora, so we could stack piffles and snack, and in a single disguise.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
We would fall down these hills.
I could totally like turn sideways, so my tail was one arm and then my arms were the other arm, and I just look over my shoulder.
plan for going forward. You're going to be become Alloy's lizard skin backpack.
I'm not that small. Come on. Well, I am, but not quite.
You are.
I mean, with some makeup, Piffles could pass for a halfling, probably.
Well, I also had that
Mhm.
big sun hat to tuck my ears under, so that'll
This is
work.
true.
I just don't like putting my ears up.
Are you not green?
I have a disguise kit. I got makeup. Full coverage. I think.
I am
All right.
2'6".
I did
gray and
start with the mushroom, so it's still good.
all right, so for my thing, intelligence check then.
Yeah, roll me intelligence.
When you also had his proficiency bonus because of the disguise kit.
Yes.
Oh,
So what would you add to that?
On our level, it should just be a +2.
so that make it a 13 then.
Sure. Then, so at a 13, like, you take out some of the makeup and stuff like that you've got there, and you smear it on, and you definitely pass. Like, you're passing, as, like, a human. You're now,
Ish.
you are now human Rayla.
Human Rayla. I love
Yeah.
Human Rayla.
Definitely human Caleb.
Human what?
There,
It's from the Dragon Prince.
yeah, there's a
Oh.
show called The Dragon Prince.
Oh,
on,
Jesus, Human
Netflix.
Rayla.
Yeah.
Rayla.
Where the elven girl has to disguise herself as a human, and so she makes up a persona called Human Rayla, and decides to go with it, and it's fantastic.
Accent, and
Yeah.
she puts gloves on, but the elves in that show only have 3 fingers and a thumb, so like the pinky keeps falling over.
It is extraordinarily bizarre.
It's so great. I
Amazing
love that show. It's so great. Oh man.
is
Oh
a very
man,
good show.
sir. That sounds like a trustworthy name.
My name is Hugh. Hugh Man.
You man.
Sounds like a trustworthy name.
I was like, fine, if everybody else is putting on their disguises, I guess I have to too. I don't want them. I will.
Everyone's got fancy ways of disguising themselves. I'm just like,
What did we?
wrap this
What did
around
we decide we had to
here.
roll?
Wraps around face.
For this guy's kid,
Perfect.
intelligence proficiency.
Serious? I have no intelligence, you guys.
Yup.
Phrasing.
Roll it. What do you
Plus
got?
And something.
13
over
plus
by
2. I did
4.
better than the Genasi again because.
So you you pull up a hood and you like tuck your ears in underneath
hat?
Your hat. Yeah, like you kind of like, you know, put it up and tuck that in and like get a bunch of mud from in between
Turn
some
them
of the
inside out
soft
a little bit
grass
first.
and like
Still-
rub it on your face to kind of cover up your sort of green
I
skin.
have a disguise kit.
Oh, you have a
like-
disguise kit, yeah. So you've like stuck a little bit of a wig in there, so there's like some blonde hair poking out of the hood, and you've like put some paint over your green skin to make it appear as though you are a sickly, malformed child. So, like it works, but you know it's its own thing. Yeah.
She's gonna have to learn to keep her mouth shut so I don't see the spiky teeth.
And just like that, the plan is foiled.
If anybody looks at me for too long, they go, "Why are your eyes glowing purple?" Don't worry about it.
Shh. Just
I
walks
mean,
away.
you could probably write some yarn about magic spell gone wrong.
Oh, I'm sure. But then that's all. That's them good old fashioned bluff checks that we're gonna be getting into. Should be a good
I'm
time.
doomed.
And like that, we're doomed. So yeah, you guys find yourselves on the edge of this massive field, and so far, at least for the moment being, you don't see anybody in the distance.
Sweet.
He grabs a dagger and cuts the bottom of his cloak as though he had been hard marching for days or weeks, and loosely wraps some rope around his own wrists so that he could just slip out of the rope by dropping his hands. Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're disguising yourself as like a
Prisoner amongst humans.
prisoner. Cool. Roll me
That's pretty neat.
deception.
Roll what, sir?
Deception,
Deception.
because you're not actively disguising yourself. You're attempting to appear as a prisoner.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
21.
But
Yeah.
works.
So you're like, I'm a prisoner, and you get right into it. It's very method acting. Like it's good.
I'll buy a shit.
While everybody else is doing their stuff, I'm gonna look for flowers.
See, it'd be harder
That's a
for me to go
persuasion check.
doing
Piffles.
that because that means I'd have to give up my staff, which greatly hinders me if we get into battle because I do not have a.
see, I still have a
Bonus
basic
pouch.
shield, but I have a big ass cloak.
Well, I think we're all disguised up. Shall we head on? Before Piffles wanders into something dangerous again.
Before Piffles gets hurt.
Hey, I'm
Let's-
not... guys, why do you guys undermine me? I have done all the good things. All of them? All of them.
You got a bag filled with bone rot poisonous mushrooms and shit yourself to death mushrooms, and considered eating the third mushroom in the bag.
And I also have a lot of napalm on me, your point is. I haven't blown anybody up yet. Or poisoned anyone accidentally or on purpose.
Piffles,
Yet.
if there is anybody
Yes.
around here that is most likely to become a problem, not is a problem. You have the most dangerous things, and while you are most qualified to carry them and are relatively safe,
And I'm also the luckiest gobbo in all of Gobbo Town.
yes, you still have all of your ear attached. Ear.
Ears and limbs? I only
I mean-
burned off half my hair, we're fine.
Your picture does look like you're missing a chunk out of your one ear, but that's most of an ear.
That was
That is unrelated.
that is unrelated to explosions. That is
It's-
entirely me trying to pet the wrong thing. Anyway,
You are safe with your stuff, and we perfectly acknowledge that, but you also have the most dangerous stuff, so we just need to keep an eye out. It's nothing personal.
I'm gonna keep looking for flowers.
I mean, as long as I'm carrying the rust monster grenade, I actually should probably be keeping my distance from Alloy.
Probably.
That would go without saying.
Sending hugs for Talrind, for anybody.
If I find flowers, I'm gonna start weaving them into a chain to put on my hat.
Okay.
Some boards.
Does it
Yeah,
smell
roll
like
me-
bone rot potion to you?
Sorry, will you roll what?
Did
I
you
rolled
roll
perception, and I got a 7.
You rolled persuasion.
Oops, whoops, my bad.
I was like,
I
I'm
hit the
gonna
one
need you to
entirely.
do it again.
I'm gonna persuade the flowers to come to me. That was a right roll. No.
That would work better in the Fae for just left. Did you want it? The same result.
I still got a 7.
It is also a 7. You know what? Yeah, like, as you're looking around, I mean, there's flowers all over the fucking place. So
Okay, sweet. I'm just gonna
you don't
pick some
find
flowers.
anything particularly, like, blowing your fucking mind out of its craw here, but you're like, yeah, this is good. Like, there's flowers all over the place out here. It is beautiful. It is, like...
Like,
um,
I grew up like the like goblin
Yeah.
quarter.
You find
underground.
some blue
Flowers.
flowers. You find a bunch of red and yellow flowers. You find some mums.
Sweet. I'm gonna be like,
Right.
weave one into the hat. Snack.
As
One
explicitly
into
voiced.
the hat. Snack. One into the hat. Flower snack.
So cool.
I'm
The goblin's
eating the
eating
flowers.
flowers, and that is what's up right now. The goblin is eating a ton of flowers.
Flowers, and I'm putting them in my hat
Yes, you
Hello,
are.
folks.
because then I'm wearing snacks for later. Duh.
Good
Oh no,
boy.
it's like my dog. Stop eating the grass, you'll puke later.
What is that in your mouth?
Swallows faster.
Pretty much, just start shoveling them in her. And then they're gonna look at me and I'm gonna be like, mine. Mine.
Christ.
I found them.
Mine.
Kev, stop it.
Oh.
You're stop go now.
Stop it, no treats.
Guys, This is not a fight we're gonna win, guys. Let's just keep moving.
Just let the goblin eat the goddamn flowers. Jesus Christ.
Hey. Hey. I'm on brand.
And then, so yeah, as you guys, we should move. Let's have ourselves a little look here. Okay, so for the first few hours, as you guys are traveling thus far, as it goes into midday, you find yourselves relatively unchallenged. What's also really interesting is that the road that led up to the sort of like dilapidated, dissolved, burnt out village that you guys ran into, by and large, like the path, which I'm gonna say Esteban is able to find with his really high perception check, the path is overgrown. This is definitely, from what you can see, not a place where a lot of people have come. So it's, yeah, there we go.
If we get spotted, we're going to have a lot of questions of why we're coming from this direction.
Yeah, so as you guys are going along, like, yeah, you can see that not a lot of people have come through here, and that this area is largely still abandoned. Like, there's just not a lot of traffic, so thankfully, good for you guys, there's not a lot going on. And, yeah.
So, folks, if we do get caught, we're going to go with a relatively simple cover story. We're a hunting party, and we've got the last of our quarry with us on a return. A pointed look at Snack with his bound, air quotes on that one, hands. Everyone okay with this?
Mhm.
Sneck wonders why we're not just bounty hunters and Sneck was the bounty.
I am going to
That is essentially what I said. Yes.
eat some flowers
You
and
have violated the law.
and some granola. And then I'm going to add some flowers to the granola.
Uh,
And I'm going to eat them together.
the more independent hunters that hunt our kin are referred to as just hunters rather than the fucking Inquisition.
Hmm.
Okay, Sneck, be quiet.
So yeah, you guys are just heading on your way across the fields. Largely, again, like, for the first while, there's nothing going on. And the sun sort of crosses the sky as you make your way through the large field, and as it begins to set, the sky lights up with just this heavenly mixture of, like, blues and oranges and reds and purples and other things. It is truly a sight to behold as you guys make your way along to that area.
Mm.
But then, yeah, eventually the day draws to a close, and you find yourselves at your first night, now here in the open fields of the Empire. Do you guys build a fire or anything like that? How do you make your way along?
Should we build a fire? It will draw attention.
Is there only rolling plains? Like there are no trees or small copses of wood?
I see little groves, like
Um,
little bushes.
moving away from the large forest and just kind of making your way along this like really old, mostly abandoned path. There are some bushes here and there, but like you're out in the open. Like there are hills, yeah, but you find yourself kind of without trees, at least just yet. If you think like over in an area like I'm gonna say an area like here, if it'll do the thing for me when I click the map, or not,
Sky.
it's cool. What about here? Yeah, like in an area like that where it's sort of like a small valley between the rolling fields, between the hills where they dip down, you might find an area that's got some bushes that you can try to use as like a hiding spot or a camping space, if you will.
Hmm.
No, and not even any. It's like small copses of woodland kind of thing.
No, like, right now, you guys are in the wide and open, and looking, at least when you were crossing some of the fields, like when you were standing on top of the hills, the fields just stretch, in all directions. You see in the distance, in some cases, there are towns and or villages and whatnot else, in different areas, but by and large, as you're moving south, that's it. Like, it's the forest behind you. To the west of you, you see the mountains way, way in the distance.
What's the current season?
The current season right now is, I would say it's like early summer.
Okay.
Sneck
So it's like
Sneck
if we go about
make a campfire in a divot
Okay.
where they can't see it for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles.
Okay.
Wait. We don't even need to make a campfire. If it's summer, it's like we don't need the warmth, and on travel rations, we don't need to really cook them.
But do we need charcoal for anything?
Oh yeah,
Or
that's
do we
right. You guys
keep
have a
water
whole
before we can
bunch
drink it?
of like hobbit jerky.
Yeah, we jerky.
I forgot that you guys killed and flayed and made jerky out of a bunch of Bromo Nubs' men, and then piled them up and burnt them in the woods.
I would like to point out, Drakiar is still kind of grossed out by this fact.
Yeah,
I'm
Caleb
just
is
gonna
not.
eat people jerky very noisily in front of them.
So you guys
All
found
under
yourself.
kind
You guys
He's
found yourself a
literally
little
thinking
divot
about it.
between some of the hills, in and amongst some of the bushes, and you've started a fire. Yes.
Oh,
I
wait,
think-
we don't really. Do we?
Do we start a fire? Because I don't think we need one.
Yeah, there's no reason to, and it's just going to give us away.
Okay, because Sneck was talking
If it
about
was like
building
you
a
want
fire.
Quad to be able to see.
Quad kids.
Well, it really depends on like, is it on the moonlight? Because can still somewhat see at night.
In an
We're
open
in a
plane, it's not going to be hard to see things.
And besides, we just don't get him to keep watch.
We'll give Quad a torch, and that if he feels the need, he can light it up.
Yeah, it's like a campfire is going to draw attention to a torch, not so much.
I don't know, moving little thing of light versus thing kind of hidden that also gives off light. I'm pretty sure people are gonna notice the thing that's moving. That's the light.
Quad's a warforged. She can hold a lot more still than.
True.
Quad pretends to be a large, funny-shaped rock in the night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you're in that divot in the hills, and you've got the bushes and everything with you, then like you're covered. People aren't gonna be able to see you from any distance, let alone far. So you should be okay.
So we're less worried about the fire itself and more so worried about the smoke.
Yeah. Actually, if anybody wants to do me what is it? Survival? A survival roll?
Talrin's good at those.
Yeah. Like Talrand knows that if you light a fire out here, even if you're hidden in a divot between the hills where you're not going to be seen immediately, that will cover the light, the smoke will refract the light as it goes up, and so it will still be visible from a long distance. It might be best not to light one if you're going to try to maintain like the least amount of contact with people.
One thing I would like to point out, Judy has posted some fan art.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Oh no. Let's have a look at this mess.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. This is I'm gonna pull this up so folks can see. Let's just get to there it is. Consume.
Consume.
So there's Piffles
Piffles
eating
now
cheese
Kirby.
and bugs and mushrooms and flowers because Goblin apparently she'll eat fucking anything.
You expect anything less? Did you?
Good times.
But did you? Cool.
All right. So you guys set yourselves up in one of these crooks between the hills, in amongst the bushes. And I'm gonna say with a 14 survival, like you find yourself a really good spot to kind of like hide in for the night. Let's see. Okay. And the first night, as you guys are out there, passes relatively without consequence. There's nothing going on, like it just goes quietly along. You don't even hear animals when you guys are on watch. Nothing comes up. It's just like it's so peaceful. It is strangely silent. And that was another thing I forgot to mention. Like while the Kingdom of Autometh does have trees and things like that, large rolling fields like this are somewhat of a rarity. There's some of them in the sort of southwestern area of the kingdom, and they do definitely have a sky. But for the first time, when you guys are here, as the sun starts to rise, you actually get to see the sun rise over the horizon. The false sky that exists within the kingdom does show accurate star constellations and does show the sun and does have weather, but it only stretches to the distance where it then meets the massive cavern walls. So there is like a bit of a disconnect between the sky and the horizon itself. So you actually get to see the sun rise for the first time for many of you.
Ooh. I'm gonna plonk
There's
myself
not
down on a hill, and I'm gonna eat some more people jerky and watch the sun come up.
Acolyte Snack still thinks that the sky looks wrong and that there needs to be more walls. Seeing this far is unnatural.
So actually,
Dr-
while we're on the topic of resting,
Hmm.
one thing I discovered about Warforged in a campaign that I'm running is they technically don't even need to do their like sentries rest every night because they don't sleep. The sentry rest is only if I need the benefits of a long rest, like getting back skills and stuff.
Hmm.
Makes sense. Robot.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Like, it's not a thing that you have to do every evening, I don't imagine. Lightsneck covers his eyes at the sunrise and turns his back on it with a glower, mumbles something about an evil day star, and noms halfling jerky. Oh, goodness.
Pick up more flowers and start just shoving them in my pockets.
Drakiar,
Indeed.
while everyone is, well, after he finishes eating and while the sun's still rising,
Mhm.
he's just gonna, he just like mumbles to himself. One day, tell all of our people to be able to return up here freely.
Hmm.
You're definitely coming up here more often. I mean, Fibs even comes back.
Snack prefers the caves.
I'm sorry. There is food growing out of the ground.
Talrund remains nonplussed about the sunrise.
ground.
Yeah, because you, Esteban, Talrund, like, is definitely familiar with this. Like, this is something that you haven't seen in a while, at least not since the last time you were here, which was some time ago, but it's, you know, it's something you've seen.
Here again, rather than, what is this?
This again.
I mean, Drakiar is very well aware of what this is. He has a scholarly background. He's probably read about it, but this is his first time seeing it.
Yeah, like having grown up in the kingdom and only having ventured out to the monstrous wastes and then the forest, it's definitely an experience being this far out.
How do we get our text to show up with the brown background? What?
Slash me.
Slash me. Okay, like, all right.
So,
God
you
damn it.
both mark off the consumption of 2 of your halfling jerkies
Fixing one thing first.
Mm-hmm.
because we'd like to be free of that before anyone ever actually inspects our packs. Talrand is really middle ground on the halfling jerky because he's literally been on the opposite side of this discussion, where he was consuming the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not bringing that up, nor judging.
All right.
Nor judging. There will be no
All right.
judgment.
As I look through my pack, do I see anyone slip in some halfling jerky?
Halfling jerky.
People jerky?
I like the people jerky. What are we talking about? What's happening?
Caleb wants to see if Piff has slipped people jerky into his pack.
I have not. All this people jerky is for me.
Good.
Why would I do that? It's a waste of perfectly good people jerky.
You could just say it's pig jerky.
I'm gonna sneak a handful of flowers in there, though.
See, flowers I don't mind.
Snacks for later.
No, I'll just put them in a vase when I get back to my hut.
They're delicious.
I don't eat them.
You presume they will last that long.
Bold assumption of you to believe that that'll be a thing.
All right, so I'm just gonna crack a ration and just have that.
Cool. All right. So as the day continues to go up, anybody that wants to keep watch as you guys continue to travel south, roll me perception.
That
I know I'm
case,
not
all
very-
of this.
Jesus Christ.
Talrand, sitting
I know
in
I'm
the
not very-
biggest pile of potatoes, continues to
Keep
not
on
eat any of
rolling.
it.
That's on brand.
There we go.
All right, so yeah, we got an 11. We got 24 from Caleb. So as you guys are like getting up, you're a little more accustomed, a little less like wowed by everything else that's going on out here, and you definitely have like an idea as to where you're going and what you're doing and what's happening.
That second one, the delay for me going on for whatever reason.
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah,
the
you're cutting out
13
a
was
little
the
bit.
first one that we got, so that is going to be
I was saying
a
it-
skill.
I was saying to ignore the 21.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, dang. Okay, well, it looks like we're not gonna be getting that for everybody. It's just gonna be for the folks at home.
Oh.
So yeah, as you guys are going along, I'm just trying to like get my hands on a piece of sound that I forgot to grab beforehand. Because a lot of the ambient sound that I have comes in helpings of an hour, and I can't put those into Roll20 because it has to be under 20 megabytes a file. So I usually cut
Makes
them
sense.
down to like 10 minutes, but my editing software is not on this computer. So it's like I have to go over to my other PC, I have to like do it and then bring it over, and I'm missing a few pieces. Anyway. So, you guys have stellar perception as you continue to move along. Okay, interesting. As you go by throughout the day, yeah, Talrand is slightly more distracted since yesterday about how Piffles hid flowers in his ribcage without him noticing.
Whoops, sorry. At least it wasn't people jerky.
Oops. So yeah, you guys are going along having yourselves a good time. The day passes by, like, openly, and as the day sort of reaches its mid, you guys still haven't found, like, a main road yet, but you do see, sort of wandering along across the field, making its way towards you, you see a cow. It is a big old brown cow. It has attached to it a harness. So it's got a harness and a bit, and one of the straps on the back of it appears to be broken and dragging through the grass.
Guys, you didn't want people jerky. Real jerky.
No. Cutie posted another bit of fan art.
Oh, sweet.
Haha.
What do we got? Okay, sweet. Let's just quickly show that off to the folks at home. Eat bees!
Yeah, I said I put flowers in there, so that could happen.
The bees start nesting in there because of all the flowers.
Yeah, pretty much. You're gonna have some
Bees!
friends. Some very buzzy friends.
Snack. Snack eyes the cow with suspicion, asking, "What's that?" But as it comes towards you again, you see that as it sort of trops over a hill and it spots you and starts kind of making its way towards you, going. "Mrrr." You do notice as it gets close, and it basically just comes right up to you. It has like a harness on it. It doesn't have a saddle, but the straps that the harness did attach to perhaps a wagon or some other object have been broken and are dragging through the grass behind it.
Want to take a
doesn't
closer look at
Oh, it's a pack.
Should we look around to see if anybody who lost this cow could be around and or their corpses?
Well, everybody else has rolled a perception. If you want to
Oh,
roll a
I did
perception
roll
as
a
well.
perception.
No, you didn't.
I don't see a perception on.
Does
Oh,
it-
up top. I'm sorry. I totally didn't
Here's
see that.
here's a hint. It's not persuasion.
Does it look
Waited
like
those
the harness?
flowers to get in my mouth. Quiet. There we go.
Does
Alright,
it
so 17 and 13.
does it look like the snaps on the harness have been recent, or if they look old?
With sorry, is that Rainer or is that
That's
Planter?
Rainer.
That's Rainer. Okay, so looking at it, the snap, like the leather straps themselves look pretty old and worn. But it does appear as though with like a 13, I'm gonna say like, yeah, it does look kind of fresh. Caleb and and Talrand, you guys hear rapid footsteps approaching and someone huffing.
I'm making sure that my illusion is up and properly working.
Yeah, if you guys want to quickly, like, you might have like a minute or so before this person comes over the hill's edge towards you.
All right. Just
Adjust
hearing
the
that,
wrap.
it's just, guys, someone's coming.
Okay, so yeah,
Make yourself look pretty.
Talrand
Gotta make sure
quickly
my ears are all tucked in.
casts a spell, and does that same thing with Drakir, just casting a quick illusion spell, a quick disguise self. And Alloy still has like the things wrapped around his head.
I still have my hat on.
Sneck, do you quickly like rewrap your hands in the rope kind of situation?
I'm also gonna cast minor illusion because I didn't realize I had it and make my my thing look better. Because I apparently just dropped the ball today. I am running on like 3 hours of sleep. I'm so tired.
That's fine. And there you go, minor illusion. You also do it.
Hood up.
Let's see that.
And yes, my
leaves us-
intention was basically to start every day doing that for now.
Okay, cool.
Because we're out
And
here.
Alloy still has his wraps on, and Caleb, I'm gonna say because it's a different day, do me another quick like disguise self. Give me another either intelligence or charisma, whichever one you would like to try to use.
All right, intelligence plus proficiency. 12.
A 12. All right, so let's see if that works. There is like just no sooner do you quickly like pat some more makeup on your face to kind of hide the natural bluish hue of your skin. Do you see an old farmer come running over the hill? And he is panting and gasping, and he takes off his hat, and he's fanning himself in the sun's heat, and he sees the lot of you standing there with the cow. The cow seems to have walked right up to you guys and has just started eating grass around your feet and is just sort of there. The
Talrand starts attempting to coax the cow back towards the farmer.
I'm going to feed it a flower and wish we could turn it into jerky.
No.
As you hold a flower up to its mouth, it quickly like gobbles down on it, munching away, and then kind of goes back to sniffing around the grass. Now, Esteban, you said Talrand is going to try to lead the cow back to the farmer. Animal
Talrand's
handling of 4, sweet. So you like you're not terribly familiar with like handling animals, especially livestock. So you kind of like grab it by the side of its harness and give it a yank, and it fully ignores you and continues like eating flowers and stuff and munching around at the grass and sniffing through the dirt.
Now after my own heart.
Drakir, you kind of
Down soon.
you get the idea that maybe if you like grab a few of the flowers off the ground and like hold it, then the cow's head kind of turns up towards you and with its big long purple tongue, and you start trying to lead it back towards the farmer. The farmer, seeing you lot there, is okay. So from the top of the hill, he waves to you guys and goes, "Oh, thank you so much. She got away from me, and we were just pulling a cart a few fields over, trying to plow a small field. Shit." And he just heaving and hoeing kind of makes his way down the hill towards you. And he goes, "Thank you so much for catching her for me. That's real kind of you." And Drakir, as you are sort of the closest to him, as he is standing there, you sort of like kind of get it back towards him. He has in his hands, in his one hand, a riding crop. And he comes along and goes, "Oh, she's a fussy one. You just gotta, give her a little bit of hard love on her left cheek there on the back, and that usually gets her going. Got her going a little too hard, though, as you can see." Whew. And then, as he's sort of grabbing hold of her reins, eyes Drakir, as he's the closest to the group, and furrows his brow a little bit and goes, son, are you doing okay? You've been out in the sun too long? And he turns then to the rest of the group and eyes the bunch of you over, kind of looking left and right at the group.
I'm
and
gonna
goes,
hold my hand out and be like, jerky? You know,
No.
some of the jerky.
No.
Seeing you from a distance, he kind of like, as he like eyes gonna go from one to the next, and then looks down at the, small person holding jerky, and he
I
kind
probably
of
look like a small child.
takes a step
Well, you can pass yourself off as a halfling.
holding the
size.
reins of the cow, and he's kind of like jerking the reins of the cow to get it to come along, and goes, so you're adventuring
hunters.
folk, right?
We're hunters. We're back from the quarry. Head nod towards Snack. It was a very obvious kobold that really should have caught his attention first before seeing
Yeah,
the illusions.
seeing the kobold in more or less cuffs, and kind of like looking at everybody, seems a little suspicious. But you say that you are hunters, that you are returning with your latest quarry. Roll me a deception.
God.
I'm still gonna be holding out the jerky to him to see if he wants some jerky.
Actually,
Oh, nice!
wasn't Talrand actually a hunter before?
Not that
But
kind
he's
of
not
hunter.
currently.
He's not currently. And you
Yeah.
guys are not monster hunters returning with your quarry, so that is a lie.
Yeah.
Glares at the farmer with glowing green eyes. Yeah, and as Talron explains that you guys were you guys are monster hunters and you're returning with your latest quarry. He goes, "Oh, of course. Okay, that would explain. You look awful strange, the lot of you. So I didn't. I just didn't.
It's
yeah,
okay. We
but
a lot.
I imagine so. I imagine it takes all kinds of different folk to hunt monsters and whatnot. God's blessed a lot of you.
Some of us have been dinged up a little bit more than others, but someone's got to do it.
Of
Those have
course.
to be tiny.
Of course. Well, yeah. Well, I thank you very much for returning this cow to me. I appreciate it. Thank you again. And he sort of tips his big straw hat to you. And
You
like,
sure you don't want some jerky?
kind of shakes his head a little bit at the suspicion, and turns. And then as you call for jerky, he turns around and goes, "Oh no, I'll be all right. I don't want to part any of you adventure folk from your traveling rations. I got plenty back at home. But thank you.
If you'd be so
It'll
kind,
spoil if we don't eat all of it.
I'm not gonna lie, these hills look a little bit the same. Can you point us the direction of the main road? I think we've gotten off track a little bit.
Oh, of course. And he kind of standing at the top of the hill that he's now at, as he's been sort of slowly moving away with his cow. He reaches the what's the word I'm looking for? The event horizon of the hill, the very top of the hill, and he points to a southeastern direction and goes, "The main road's just down over there. If you follows that for about another day and a half, you'll reach a Braniel. That is one of the larger trade towns, and then you'll find yourself back into town proper. Y'all should be okay."
Yeah.
And he tips his hat again, and then starts making his way.
Luck
So
with your harvest.
he goes, good luck with your monsters and such. and he waves as he makes his way off. Fuck, that was close. You rolled an exact 18. Ooh, that was good. So yeah, as you guys continue along, do you head to the southeast to find the main road?
No.
Avoid the fuck out of the main road. We're monsters.
I wanted to know where the main road was so I could definitively locate where we are with my natural explorer so that we could navigate for very easily and safely.
Yeah.
Assuming I
Here,
have crawled over these hills historically.
Yeah, let me bring you back, more or less,
Back fast.
to where you guys are supposed to be. It's just the fucking it
Oh, we
doesn't
got
expect
turned
you to have
around.
more than like 2 things at once. There we go.
Oh, no. No.
We're back in the kingdom. What? How did this happen? You guys exited, and now you find yourselves about here. You're kind of in the dead space that is between the old ruined village and Braniel proper.
We want to. Our previous plan was to go this way and down, right? Everyone
The
remember
previous
that?
plan was to head in that direction. You seem to have come out of the woods a little more west than intended. However, you could continue to head, like using the sun as sort of your compass. You could continue to head east directly, kind of go over the top of Abraniel and then head south.
I mean, it's tricky now that we actually look at it. We're going to have to all downtown.
General layout of terrain. Yeah. All right. So then, yeah. There you go. So Talrand, using his wanderer background, is going to direct you guys a little bit better along the way to where you guys need to get to. All right. Okay. As the day passes, give me a survival check to see if you guys find your way into a. You do find a nice quiet spot to camp. This time, though, as you're going along, as is suggested by Clay, you find a small stream in between some of the larger hills. So you have yourself a supply of fresh water, as well as a decent enough place to sort of camp for the evening. And because of the fresh water running in between some of the large hills, there is enough like sort of shrubbery down in this area, and a mixture of that and some cattails. You figure you could actually, like, if you guys sleep here next to the river, you'll be pretty much hidden for the night.
Let's stay here for now, good folk.
Yibs.
All right. That's
Anyone want to make a soup?
We're not starting a
can-
fire.
I'm joking.
Maple jerky soup.
You,
With all the chunks and flowers. I can do that.
you meat bags probably want to fill up your water skins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
meat bags.
Definitely gonna go fill up the water skins. And I'm gonna pick more flowers and eat more flowers. And squish
I'm
my
sorry, were you not once a meat bag yourself?
squishing
Yes,
my
but
toes
there is
in
most
the
of
water. Come on.
We were all children once.
I am squishing my gobbo toes in the mud and water. It's fun.
That is very cute.
Around for any fruits or anything that I recognize in the area. Would that be survival or perception? It doesn't matter.
What are you looking for?
Just like herbs or, valuable flowers.
Sure. Yeah. Give me perception. Jesus. Digging around, like next to the river, you see growing rather. There's some berry bushes a little bit further down, as well as a few herbs that, when made into a tea, have a very calming effect. It's like
Just regular berries?
Yeah, it's like just like regular blueberries growing next to the river and some chamomile.
Berries! I'm gonna grab some berries.
You didn't find those
I-
berries.
Oh, you didn't find them. Oh, I thought you found them in front of us.
You have
Sorry.
your
My
feet
bad.
in the mud. Talon found berries.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I'm not looking at my computer all the time because I'm really exhausted right now.
That's okay.
What?
Talon finds the berries. How many berries can I get?
You figure you could fill a small pouch.
Are there any
I fill a
fish?
small pouch, and any extra I give to Biffus. Followed by grabbing the tea leaves.
I could just see you coming back towards where everybody's camped, and you just have like a fistful of blueberries that you just like throw at her, like keep the change. Like,
Just remember,
Water.
I just remembered something I wanted to do. Since it's the end of the day and doesn't look like we're going to get in any fights or anything,
Yep.
I am going to just use my breath weapon to fill up a couple flasks with acid.
You have flasks?
You
He
have
spits acid.
Oh right.
I have acid.
you know what? I'm gonna allow it. What do you have to carry the acid with?
I
An empty napalm jar.
Do you have any containers made from glass?
That's what my
believe
napalm stuff is in. But I used one of them up, didn't I? So there is an empty napalm container.
You fired 2 shots out of your bad pipes, so
No, I didn't. I only fired one. It was
You
loaded.
did
Oh, no,
It
you
was loaded.
shot 2. You.
Did I shoot
yeah.
two?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you lit a lot of the woods on
The
fire.
woods.
Oh right.
Those-
Okay.
Those poor
Yeah,
woods.
I'll give him the napalm jar.
Oh yeah, so you hand
He's
over.
gonna want to wash it out before he puts acid in it. You
That's
don't know how
good
those things are gonna hit.
Well,
And
yeah.
everybody keeps thinking I'm gonna blow everybody up.
Of course, I'm going to wash it out first.
Yeah, so, rinsing out the glass container that Piffles has given you in the river, you managed to get pretty much any remnants of strange goblin fuel out of the jar, and you are left with a relatively clean glass receptacle that I believe is kept shut via a cork.
Yeah, I think it is a cork.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So Sneck is not going to take any berries just to keep looking like a prisoner, just in case. So yeah. You clean it out, and then using your breath weapon, manage to fill up this tiny jar. Now that being said, you now have a glass flask of acid. How do you carry this going forward?
I actually think I'm going to give these back to Piff. In case she was carrying them before with when they were filled with napalm.
Okay.
Yeah, fair point.
That's fair. No, that's okay. So, Pimples, add into your inventory now a glass flask of acid.
This better not leak.
It might. Depends on how you carry it.
I'm gonna put it on like one of my hip pouch things so it stays upright.
Yeah.
I do not trust this dingus.
Give me a sleight of hand.
A slight.
Yeah,
Okay.
roll me sleight of hand. Okay, so we're gonna keep that.
Wow.
Damn.
You masterfully grab this, and having some recent experience in handling volatile liquids, you're like, no, if I put this on my waist and I do this, and as long as I'm mindful of it, it shouldn't break or cause any problems.
Exactly, Snack. I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
I am an adult gobbo, and everybody keeps underestimating me. I know my shit when it comes to explosives, guys. I know it.
What are the stats going to be on that? Because
Okay, that's actually technically 2 flasks, because you did fire it twice. So we'll say that you can add into your inventory now, Piffles. You can add into your inventory 2 glass flasks of acid. I'm positive that that's not how those abilities were intended to be used in the game, but I think it's creative and fun, and it doesn't break things, so I'm going to allow it.
Sweet, they're in my inventory.
Flasks of acid do have some use, but they're not a game ender.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume
Like, there's use for them, and I think that it's clever and interesting. Like, I think it's fun that you're doing that, and I don't think that it's gonna, like, cause any kind of massive game breakage if I allow you to have it, so... And that's kind of a lot of how this game works, where it's like, there's no specific rules around using your breath weapon to fill up receptacles. But I could just as easily be like, that's not how the rules work. You can't use your breath weapon to fill up a receptacle, so no. But I'm also like, well, there's nothing saying you can't, and I think it's fun. Like, you got 2 flasks of acid. We'll see how.
Found the new meta.
Yeah, like we'll see how that becomes a thing, if that becomes a thing in the near future.
I assume the damage is going to be the same as it is for my breath weapon, because it's the same acid.
We will see. I imagine we'll see how it gets used. Because we'll
So he's
we'll
four.
we'll see what happens with that.
What would the DC be? Dodging. I doubt it'd be the same DC that my breath weapon because it's being delivered in a completely different manner.
Well, that's the thing, is that it would be an improvised thrown weapon, and then it would do, if it's whipped at somebody, it would do acid damage, and then if it
You
is
can also use it to pick locks.
pouring on stuff, then it would do acid damage to specific objects. We'll see how it gets used. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. That's how that phrase goes.
We'll melt that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Well,
So, you guys find yourself next to a very nice babbling brook for the remainder of the evening, and it is actually quite pleasant as you guys are out in the open field. And for the remainder of the evening, it appears that things are going relatively well. Who's on watch?
I'd probably be on watch for the entire night.
Yeah, you don't have to sleep, so it makes sense.
He's also blind.
along
This
with
is
whoever else is.
I was gonna say Talrand also does not require rest. So much
Oh, and
as
half rest.
yeah, it's like it's one of those I'm still aware of my surroundings, but I need to be inactive for a little bit of time kind of situation to sort of maybe get the kinks out of your system. But
Not actively rolling perception checks, but my passive is still there.
yeah. As the night continues to draw, and the sun goes down, no sooner than maybe an hour or two into night proper, do you hear panicked breathing and footsteps approaching swiftly.
Hoop-a-dip.
Alloy will ready his halberd for whatever jumps out of the bushes and poke whoever's next to him with the butt of his halberd.
Performance?
Woke up. Oh, whoops! I hit the wrong thing. Perception. God damn it! I'm really bad at hitting perception today.
It's
Why
not
are you doing
persuasion, and it's not performance.
Nope.
To be fair, aren't you asleep?
He just said he hit somebody next to him with his halberd, so I woke up.
Yeah, so Alloy and Talrand, I imagine, as you guys hear the footsteps approaching, you guys wake the other members of your party.
Probably.
Yes. Talrand also starts looking around to see if he can identify.
Yeah, so with a perception of
I'm
15
blind.
going, yeah, with 6 and 5 being the other perceptions.
I just woke up.
You guys are looking around wildly. It is very dark. It appears as though the moon is in a phase that allows you a bit more darkness this evening than normal, so it is very hard to see. Though, Talrand, you are used to picking out shapes and whatnot, especially in your skeletal form. You're able to, like, you know, definitely see through the dark a lot better than some of your companions might be able to. With Umbral Sight, that is correct. You get dark range out to a range of 60 feet. Cresting over the hill.
I think it's actually not because I think my race already had it.
Yeah. And Drakir, you use minor illusion quickly to mask yourself. Is anybody else gonna do something real quick, or?
Oh, I should probably do minor illusion.
Gloves on, hoods up, using the dark to my advantage.
Oh, I'm gonna shove my ears under my hat again.
Now,
Yeah,
you guys are still wearing a bit of makeup if you hadn't washed it off from the previous day.
My feet might be green, but that's what minor illusion is for.
Dope. Oh yeah, so then you've used minor illusion, so you don't have like yeah, and then Snek is once again a prisoner. Coming over the top of the hill towards you guys in a panicked hurry is a child.
Oh.
This kid runs over the top of the hill and comes sort of stumbling and tumbling down towards you guys. It seems as though the child tripped over something nearing the top as it was looking over its shoulder, tripped and rolled down into the cattails just on the other side of the river to you. Now, this river is not even like 2 feet wide. Like, it is a small stream. But the kid sort of tumbled down and landed in and amongst the tall reeds and the tall grass just on the other side of the stream. No sooner does the kid roll into this grass and just
Is it another tiny bandit?
vanish from view, do 2 other figures crest the top of the hill. Really, not anybody else is able to make them out except for Talryn. Talryn, you see 2 older men standing at the top of the hill, both of them breathing very heavily.
Do I make out? Can I see any details on the child, or like other than they're old men, but like racial details?
They appear to be human, the 3 of them.
They're running through the pitch black.
Yeah, the 2 that are at the top of the hill, one of them has a staff, and the other one appears to have a dagger, which is drawn. And does anybody else want to roll perception? Because we got Talryn, and we got Alloy, and we got Piffles.
Was that a tiny bandit? Because we just fought a bunch of tiny bandits. Please, no more
Tiny bandits. Tiny style. Okay, so Drekir and Sneck, you notice as the child sort of like tumbles towards and into the reeds, they've gone quiet. You don't hear any more noise or any more movement from the tall grass. The 2 men who are standing at the top of the hill kind of look around, and then they slowly start approaching and coming down towards the stream. Now, it would appear as though, Alloy turns to face the 2 men. It seems as though they haven't seen you yet.
I say we call it them because they're approaching our camp. Thoughts?
Do we give ourselves away that quick?
Well, it's up to you guys. What do you guys do? You got a few seconds before they reach the bottom of the hill and move in towards the stream.
I say we keep quiet.
Yeah, just
Wait.
what's going on
Wait
here.
to see what they do. Get a full spectrum of what's going on.
Clay's like, he's got no torch and he's running with a dagger. Not too smart.
I have a thing I would like to do.
Okay.
It's like running downhill with a dagger in the dark with no torch.
Okay, I need to know how far away is where the child is and where they're going.
Where you guys are on your side of the stream with the reeds between you and the stream proper, there's maybe about 10 feet, maybe 15 feet between you and the reeds where the child landed.
Okay. So, in the area leading to the reeds, so where they're basically walking towards, I'm casting a Zone of Truth.
A Zone of Truth. You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered in the point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn and starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering the... Oh, yeah. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions in which would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the bounds of the truth.
There's a vocal component to it.
Yup.
Doesn't say I have to be loud.
You have to be audible because the whole being quiet while casting a spell, that is a class ability specifically towards the sorcerer.
You can also make it like a sleight of hand or a stealth roll to whisper the spell.
Yeah, roll me
Stealth kit.
Roll me stealth. 13. Okay, yeah. So you like with the sort of the noise of the babbling brook that's next to you, the little stream, the running water creates enough cover for you to whisper this sort of into your hands and then bring the spell to life in front of you, covering sort of a 15-foot dome on that side of the river in a zone of truth. Moments later, like literally seconds after you cast it, the two gentlemen walk into the zone of truth, and then one of them takes notice of your presence on the other side of the stream. He, sort of using his staff, quickly bars the movement of his friend, like puts it in front of his friend and goes, "Hey, who's out there?"
Okay, so who's right next to me? I need to know this, because whoever's next to me, I want to quickly whisper 1 squeeze for lie, 2 squeeze for truth.
Wait.
I still look like a prisoner. I don't want to break that illusion yet.
Zone of
I'm
Truth is
probably
That's the thing.
Wait, Zone-
The zone of truth is they can't speak a lie while they're in that area.
It's not that you.
Yes, but I'll know if they're... Basically, I know if they pass their save or not, so I know if they have the potential to lie. So if they pass their save, it can be assumed that they will probably lie.
And what is your spell save DC?
It's a charisma save. Spell save DC is 13.
Okay. But yeah, one of them calls out. Who's there?
Hunters. Who are you?
And oh god, right off the bat, cool. I was just gonna be like, and this guy's gonna be full of shit. He passes that save. And you see him kind of like go to speak and then like shake his head. And he goes, I'm Dave. This is also Dave.
The Daves?
We lost something out here.
Was it a tiny bandit?
Do you say that out loud?
No. Yes.
Okay, so Acolyte's neck taps his head, taps whoever's closest to him twice, and shakes his head. And so you do decide to say that out loud?
Yes.
Sweet.
Tiny bandit.
Tiny style. You call out. Is it a tiny bandit? One of the gentlemen with the gentleman with the dagger goes, yeah. Stole something from us. Just need to get it back. Who's got the highest perception right now?
I don't have a lot of insight, apparently.
Drekir rolled a 19.
Wouldn't he have to make another roll to see if he can still lie?
Yeah, Esteban, this guy, both of these guys are highly suspicious and full of shit. Drekir.
Better lies or we're gonna shoot you.
Drekir, you're unsure what these guys are up to, but there is something suspicious going on. Same thing with you, Snek. Like, it's hard to tell. Because they've resisted your spell, so it's hard to tell whether or not they're telling the truth. Caleb, yeah, these guys are full of shit. Though Drekir, you see from where you are standing through the reeds, you see the child is curled up. It's a little girl, and it is curled up in the reeds right at the edge of the stream. There is maybe 3 to 5 feet of reeds between where this child is curled into a ball, between the kid and the two guys that are looking for her.
All right, I'm just going to chime in and
makes eye contact with you, Drekir, and shakes her head. Like, shakes her head no.
All right, I'm just going to chime in and take a couple of steps forward. So she's this bandit stole something from you. What exactly did they steal?
What? No, is there no response to Talrin?
Oh, sorry. What did Talrin say?
Pick better lies or I'll shoot you, and started drawing his bow and notching an arrow.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so
Intimidation for them?
yeah, roll me some intimidation.
This is a terrible idea.
Sweet.
Wow.
Let's see.
All right, how about
Let's see how
this?
they do.
Modifying it. Just Caleb will go to Tyrant. Seeing how the intimidation didn't work.
Oh no, we'll see.
Wow.
Yeah, the two gentlemen kind of like they waver and falter just a bit, but then the gentleman who's holding the dagger sort of like slaps his friend on the shoulder and goes, "Look, we're just here to get back what's ours. We just need to grab it, and we'll be on our way. We don't want any trouble."
While they're distracted with Talrin, I'm going to try to stealthily move the girl so that into one of our tents where they can't see her.
You guys don't have any tents.
We didn't set up tents.
All right. Tell you what.
Y'all didn't set up no tents.
All right. Okay. Hold on.
Okay,
If Drakiar is going to be doing that,
Caleb, what do you want to do?
can I pick up that Drakiar just wants to see if he can move the little girl closer to our side, so that way I can distract the liars with just general chit chat. So that way Drakiar can sneak her over.
Yeah, okay, so you can attempt a distraction to sort of engage them in a way that they won't notice when Drakir tries to bring the child over to your side of the stream. And yeah, Kaldaka, we're gonna be like in a little bit. I'm gonna have them roll again and see see if they make it.
I was making sure I wasn't missing something. Just because things have changed from 3.5, so I was like, I don't know if I'm just missing something here.
No, of course. Because it's a roleplay scene, so we're not in combat yet. But I'm gonna do like every once in a while, I'm gonna have them roll again. Alloy moves closer to the edge of the river, so you just like start
Clang.
just taking your steps towards the river. And what? As you walk forward, I'm going to give you an opportunity to perform an intimidation. Because you fucking boofed your stealth, like, super hard. Roll me into... Yeah, okay. So, they stand their ground as you stamp forward. Caleb, roll me performance to try and distract them.
All right, where's my performance? There. Oh, look at that.
Dope. All right. Rainer, roll me stealth to
Do I get advantage?
quietly get the kid towards you. Yes, roll with advantage.
All right.
Come on, I know I don't have much dex. Don't fail me now.
An 8. Okay, cool. Well,
I got something to... with
Caleb,
that.
how do you distract these gentlemen?
All right. Well, seeing how Talrand and Alloy are just about ready to pop off, I just, boys, come. Let's be civil about this, and just turn to the band. Just turn to the other two. Listen, it's the dead of night. You guys are looking for a bandit. You said that it was that stole something. What did they steal?
Okay, cool. So
Yes,
you know-
Tychos the Defender.
Yep. Oh yeah. No. Not only that, but they also fucking boof their ability to resist the zone of truth. And I'm gonna say they're too stupid to understand what's going on. They know that magic is happening, but they're not sure exactly why or how. So you, Drakir, managed to like get the kid across the stream to you very quietly and sort of like sneak it into the reeds with you on your side of the river, putting a bit more distance, about another 5 feet between the child and the two men. And Caleb, you say you're looking for a tiny bandit. What did they take from you? And one of the guys goes to speak, and his mouth drops open, and he's just like, the child is from a brothel. The child is property, and we need to return it. The child must be groomed. And the other guy goes, "What the fuck, Dave?"
Oh,
And the dude with the staff turns over and goes, "I always thought you were kind of pretty." Ah, shit.
oh, guys, come on.
And that's a longbow shot. So
Yeah,
you,
just a child for a brothel to be groomed. Come on, with
that shot goes, catches the one dude immediately in the head, and he falls onto the, like, face first down into the stream. The child lets out a small scream when that
All right,
happens.
all right. When
Can
that happens, Caleb just gonna turn around. What the?
So
what's up, Alloy?
Alloy has been kind of like getting ready to
okay.
launch at these guys.
All right, so I'm gonna
not
let
sure.
Alloy. I'm gonna let you take an action.
Okay.
Turns out one of them was actually named Dave. So
God damn it.
Yeah, he's just going to.
yep. Roll your damage. Jesus. So you, like, just stab at, like, how do you kill this guy?
I'm assuming he's doing like a wide swing because he's having a little bit of difficulty seeing. Just so he's kind of like, I can't miss if I just go a swing wide.
So you do this wide swing. The first arrow that catches the one guy in the eye, and he just goes forward. The other dude looks away from the rest of your party to see his friend get shot. And in that moment of being distracted, you swing with your halberd and catch him. Just the top half of his head comes clean the fuck off, like cutting a fucking gourd that was attached to a post. It's just, and his body also tumbles to one side, landing in the reeds on the other side. The child becomes almost hysterical and starts to panic as you kill the two gentlemen.
Of course.
Alloy was like a spring when he did that
It
because
was
he's
just like,
he was just like waiting for an excuse.
All right, so just Caleb.
Can Snack on the child? It's
Caleb
okay.
is face palming right now. It's just.
Right now, given you still have the appearance of a kobold,
I can still try.
what is that? Diplomacy? Is
I was
diplomacy
going to
still
say
a skill?
persuasion. I'm trying to persuade the child that everything's okay and he's fine.
Yeah. Do roll me persuasion.
Really?
12.
Early game.
So you sitting on the ground in your tattered robes,
With my hair.
with your hands bound. Don't worry, Drekir, we'll get to you in a sec. With your tattered robes and your hands bound, turn to a child and say, "It's okay." As a kobold, the kid stops screaming, but is still, like, visibly terrified by what's happening. Drekir, what do you say to the kid? Like, how do you attempt to calm the child down? Give me some role play.
it's going to be all right. I promise you.
Okay, so the kid, as you say that, the child is just, like, obviously in a state of panic, starts to, like, nod. I think maybe is the toxic glowing green eyes, the black red scales may have made Snake not the best person to do this. Has to be. Telrand notes that these trash men covered 4 of his reasons for why things must die in one phrase. Oh yeah, these were some terrible dudes chasing a kid, and you absolutely fucking shot a guy in the head. Like, clean work. So yeah, as the two of them lie dead, and Drekir, as you speak to the child and you tell the child that there's nothing to worry about, it silently nods towards you, and then she turns to the rest of the group and goes, "Who are you?"
Jerky?
No.
Piffles.
And I
Fine.
What?
Jackyar is flat out slapping the jerky out of her hand for that.
After this, we need to have a talk about you and your jerky.
Roll me some dexterity. I want to see if you knock this into the river.
Can I roll a counter dexterity to
Sure.
stop him?
Gotta be a
Dang.
12.
Oh, I can. I hope I'm not gonna say that I will, but
Okay, so you narrowly
I'm
get it out
good
of the
with
way. So
I'm good
he
with
just like
with
swats
the
at you, and you're like, ha! You're like quickly.
Jerky, and just
quickly
shove it
pull
back
it
in
away.
the pocket real fast.
Jam it back in your pocket. The child, though, does look a little hungry and emaciated. She wasn't turning the jerky down.
Tolerant hands her one of the rations he has.
The child very quickly just dives into what is effectively like nutritious cardboard. The kid like just crams it into her mouth and just rah, 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 like gets through it like the Cookie Monster.
Tolerant gives her a second ration.
She starts eating that as well, and halfway through sort of a full mouth of nutritious cardboard, looks up at the group and says, "Who are you?"
Not them.
Question.
Granola
Tolerant.
bucks.
Do not feed her granola.
Yeah.
Granola.
Stop
But-
giving her monster food.
But it's tasty.
Tolerant literally has the biggest pile of a variety of rations in the party. He's not giving people things he knows they won't like. Piffles.
But the people jerky tastes good, and they don't know it's made of people.
Piffles, would you eat goblin jerky?
No. Probably
Then
tastes bad.
don't offer people jerky to people. And we're not having this conversation in front of the child.
Guys,
We're actually not having this conversation.
So Sneck hands the child a water skin and makes a note to refill it from the stream. The child very cautiously takes the water skin from Sneck and, like, confused, looks at the rest of the group and goes, "Wait, you're not monster hunters? I thought you had a monster, and that's weird. Are you guys monsters?" And she, like, looks at the rest of you. Alloy takes out a rag and starts cleaning the blade of his weapon. You guys are pretty bad monster hunters if one of your monsters is walking around doing stuff.
They don't have to be monsters to be nice people.
yep, jig is up, pulls back the hood.
Hey, I never. I
Yeah,
literally just gave a valid reason.
drop the illusion.
The child sits there with its mouth open for a little while.
I take my hat off, and my ears are gonna fling out. All like, whoa.
Tolerant does not remove his mask. Problem.
Talrand decidedly does not drop that illusion.
Snack will just slip the
That's
rope.
because you're horrifying.
But yeah,
I'm
she
very
she
friendly.
looks around at the rest of you. Specifically, Raynor, how close are you to the kid right now?
Oh,
Sure to keep a step away from her when I let it drop. I don't want to
Are you standing up fully?
sitting down.
You're sitting?
okay.
As you guys all sort of drop your illusions and whatnot, she, like, wide-eyed and mouth open, just looks at each of you through the dark, and just, in silence, like, gets up, slowly walks over to Raynor, and then just, like, grabs your nose with one of her hands and kind of, like, feels around the end of your snout and, like, along the scales and, like, just yeah, like it's very much like when people pet dinosaurs in movies. Like, she very cautiously at first, but then, like, starts, like, grabbing in and around your snout and like around your eyebrow ridges and, like,
Awkwardly
kind of
petting
going
a
around.
CGI object.
Yeah, and she's just like, "Whoa, you're a
As long
dragon."
as she doesn't like do anything that's like very uncomfortable or painful, I just allow her to keep going.
See, we're not people.
She doesn't jam a
won't hurt you,
finger
the
in your
people would.
nose, but it's very close to it. Like, she almost, like, fully just sticks a finger in your nose, but doesn't. And, like,
I like this guy.
just kind of goes along. And then, yeah, Sneck, as you talk, she, like, turns to you and then kind of does the same thing, kind of, like, feeling around in the dark, like, feels around your face and then looks to the rest of you. And
I'm just gonna sit down and start eating flowers.
yeah, she'll kind of, like, quietly come over and, like, tug on one of your ears And she's just,
I'll just kneel down.
so you're all.
Having two very much younger than him siblings, Drakiar knows to be patient with children.
Goblins just put their fingers in everything, so I'm used to shit.
Yeah. And she's just in awe, seeing the rest of you, and
I would have gotten a good look. How old does she look?
do me a perception.
Sure, why not?
19. You're not sure? I mean, she's definitely like under 8. Like she's a child. Like she's almost a toddler. This kid. And Drekir, you're not terribly familiar with human physiology, but you've read a lot of books. She is not a toddler, but I mean, she's well under the age of 10. Like you'd put her probably somewhere between 6 and 8 years old.
And Drakiar is now getting the desire to see this brothel burn.
She's probably taller than I am.
She's about your height.
I'm 2'6".
She's a bit taller than you.
Oh, tiny thing, tiny thing. I'm like 3 feet tall, I
Yeah, I
think.
was gonna say, I forgot you
I'm
were
the
like
shortest
2.5 feet tall. You're a very small fellow.
But
yeah.
I don't care what race they are. I don't care if races are enemies or anything. Child prostitution is not okay for a neutral good character.
Oh yeah, there were some ugly things going on.
When Alloy finishes
No question.
cleaning,
Shut tug.
when Alloy finishes cleaning his weapon, he steps out of the river and just goes. So the creature is
Taller.
just a mere human child.
There's an excellent question. Is it still? Is she just a human child?
Yeah, like looking at her, she's just a human child. She's got red hair that is down a little ways past her shoulder. And
this
yeah,
like-
Drakir, from what you remember from what the gentlemen were saying, she was bought by a brothel, and they were going to basically wait until she was of age before they sold her, but they were going to continue grooming her up to that point.
Gross.
Which is gross and awful. Just the absolute fucking worst. So, yeah. So you have a child.
Tyron, is this the one you lost?
Poor thing.
And she turns to Talron and goes, "You lost a kid?"
That's a long story.
Wait, do
Yes.
monsters have kids? I thought you guys just came out of the ground.
He had
No,
a human kid.
We had kids. Piffles?
What? That way she knows you're not gonna hurt kids.
Hey,
But you know
Piffles,
you had one.
shut the fuck up.
Alright, so Caleb's just gonna turn to Emby and just shush.
Yeah.
My
Alright, and just
It's 19, right, Piff?
turns back to the child. Alright.
Need to eat more flowers.
Yeah, monsters can have kids.
Mean.
How does that
Hey.
work?
Various different ways. I'm not entirely sure.
Only very similar to
Just tell
humans.
her it's the same as humans.
Where do kids come from?
That's a story that we'll have when you're 10 years older, at the very least.
For monsters, you pull them out of the ground. For humans, I think that Goober told me you guys come from birds in the sky or something like that.
Oh, birds?
Because humans are weird. Yeah, I know. He told me something about a stalk, a stork, something.
Ooh. So, like, human babies are carried in with storks? What about elves? Where do they come from?
Probably the same thing. But then again, also, they have weird ears, maybe a different type of bird.
Oh.
I don't know.
Do you know where dwarves come from? I heard they come from mountains. That they go
No
mining for rocks, and when they
clue.
break open rocks, that there's dwarves in them.
Wait, like an egg? Is a rock egg? Me.
Baby elves grow on trees.
I continue to be happy, Doc, that you let me summon that token whenever I want to.
Yes, I allow this. Acolyte Snack goes and tugs on Alloy's fingertips and points towards the small hole he has started trying to dig. Human bodies. Help, Snack.
Oh, we gotta bury those guys. We could make them into more jerky.
Well, you don't have to bury them, and you could make food out of them, yes.
Please, not.
Child.
Not
We don't know what jerky still, though.
not
If it wasn't a kid, I would've done-
the child.
Do you guys breathe
Let them
fire?
rot in the bushes.
Do you guys eat people?
Depends on the type of people.
Do you guys steal stuff?
Sometimes that can be fun.
Ooh,
No more than humans do.
humans. Oh yeah, humans steal. She's just like, oh yeah, no, yeah, okay.
Let me put it this way. Yes, we steal. I steal. But only from bad people. Only from people who deserve it.
Snack has never eaten a person.
Good for you, Snack.
Snack, roll me deception.
Halflings
That
are
is a
people,
lie.
they're halflings.
Give Doc a deception check.
Roll me deception with advantage because you don't think halflings are people.
So Snake is a halfling racist. We already got that down.
Yeah, no, she believes you.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
that-
take out one of my kazoos and start like blow a doot on it, and then show her how to do it.
She
it's
is
not that Snack
fucking
doesn't think
enamored by the kazoo. She sits
Isn't that where the
down
question
while
is
you're
at?
blowing on it and like holds her toes while she's looking at you. And you said you give her the kazoo?
Yeah, because I have like 12 of them in my bag.
She
I
takes
brought a
it
fuck ton of kazoos, guys.
and starts blowing on it with reckless abandon.
I'm gonna pull out a second one and blow along with her.
There are two of you now blowing on kazoos in the middle of the night.
And I'm gonna look at the other one and I'm like, look, I
And
got her
there
to stop
are-
asking questions.
And there are a couple of bodies.
Talon goes to search the body.
Okay. With that medicine check, are they still alive? I mean, like, are they dying or are they flat out dead?
Oh, they're dead. Those were two super
Dead.
lethal strikes that happened. They died very swiftly. Yeah, checking those
Pulse of the
bodies.
headless guy.
Talon, yeah, that dude's missing like the top 2/3 of his head. He's out.
I'm gonna take a break from playing the kazoo for a moment and be like, so what do they call you? To the kid.
The kid says her name is Claire.
Aw.
Talrand, searching the bodies, it appears as though these two gentlemen didn't even have fucking shoes. From what you can see that they are wearing, they were wearing effectively pajamas, like simple cloth pants and shirts. One of them just had like a fucking stick, and the other one had what appears to be a kitchen knife.
Okay, I have something I should do. What I'm gonna do is,
Yes, Claire, it's you.
yeah, with that thought, I'm going to use this. Why can't I? There.
There you go. Mingle with the wind.
I'm going to cast Levitate on myself. Go up 30 feet in the air
Jesus.
and just do a quick scout. Make sure no one else is out looking for her.
It just reminds me of that, like, how to appear more angelic. It's like, use golden eyeshadow and some rosy blush, wear flowing clothes, and then other people started commenting, like, be covered in eyes, have 6 wings, wheel, constantly announce your presence with fear not.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
How thick is how wide is the river and how fast is it flowing?
It's maybe like 3 feet across tops, and it is moving very gently. Caleb, give me a perception check.
So everybody will make it across but Snack.
as you have.
It is a brook. rather than a
Yeah,
river.
it's a stream. It's like not even half a foot deep.
It's gonna
You-
toss the
so
bodies in
wait,
the
you
river
can't
and
put
just
the
let them be
bodies in
carried off.
So Caleb, as you fly up, actually, you know what? Give me another one because I'm gonna give you advantage on that because you're flying up into the air to look around in the area. Sweet,
What the hell?
Another 10. It's really dark tonight, but as you fly up into the air and you scan the surrounding hills, you guys you see in the distance, like a ways off, you actually see Ibraniel.
Ah.
It's not close, but it's there. It's maybe like a few hours worth of travel in that direction. Looking around, though, you don't see anybody approaching. Like you don't see any movement in the hills and grass and whatnot around in the distance.
I'm going to take a quick look myself from the low end to see if Caleb missed anything.
Better.
You're looking around like in the immediate area.
Well, yeah,
Or you're
yeah,
seeing if there's
basically.
anybody else coming.
Yeah, if there's any other groups of people.
Yeah, you make your way to the top of the hill that the two gentlemen like sort of crested to come down to where your little hidey spot is. And as you make your way to the top of the hill and you scan the grassy field sort of spraying out in all directions and all those sort of rolling hills and whatnot, you don't see anybody. Looks pretty good.
Okay, I'm gonna come back down.
As the others are looking around, Alloy's gonna walk up to Talran and just kind of whisper to him, "We need to get rid of this child."
No.
Well, we could take it with us.
Hey,
He's whispering that to Talrin.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear the whisper part.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. My lack of sleep is just making
Everybody's like,
no.
what?
Whoop.
suddenly we're all behind Alloy.
God, I'm so tired.
Hey, what the fuck,
I
man?
am torn.
Was that Spain?
I said I am whispering back to Alloy and saying I'm torn. The king is fairly intolerant to humans, so we could not bring her with us. But I don't
What?
want to just leave her in the wilderness.
What was the girl's name again?
Claire.
Claire.
Claire, would you be okay with telling us what happened to you?
She like nods and she goes, "Well, I always live in the brothel place, and that's where I was born. And I was just living there, but then the angry men said they were going to take me away, and they were going to make me do stuff, and I didn't want to do that, so I ran."
You in any way different from normal humans?
Different? And she looks confused. And she starts counting her toes and fingers.
I'm still dooting on the kazoo.
She's still at the age where you have kids that are white and black who play together and don't understand how people can tell them apart.
As she finishes counting all of her fingers and toes, sort of haphazardly, she looks up and goes, "No, I think I'm just a human. I think I'm normal."
I really don't know what to do with what we're going to do.
Caleb, coming down with a quick flip, landing on his feet, catches the attention of the child, and she turns over and goes, "You can fly!"
Well, with her being distracted, Dracula,
Yes.
of the residents you know of within Autometh, how many of their dispositions are contagious, as it were?
Wait.
mean,
And he just pulls Drakiar and Talon aside. Are you two considering turning her into a monster?
I will not abandon a child to return to a town which wants to do a lot of things.
Yeah, no, I get that, but
Talron, give me I'm gonna say wisdom. Roll me wisdom.
This
6.
is why I was going Drakiar.
Yeah.
Scholar.
Because Talron, being from the surface, like, you're a little more familiar with human society. You know that there might be, like, an orphanage or, like, a matron's house or something that you could put the kid in to, you know, have the kid continue living on the surface unaltered, or you could do other things. It's entirely up to you. But, like, you do know that there would be other places you could put the kid that's not returning the child to the brothel.
Or we could Talron had a vampire baby.
Talron had a vampire baby.
We could.
You're not in this conversation, Piffles. You're playing in your kazoo.
I'm out of character. I'm just like,
If we do drop her off in an
take back
orphanage
Johnberry.
house or something like that, it would have to be at Willow or Ogden, because there's no way we can take her back to a Bramniel.
Orphanage or matron's house would likely have to answer to thugs.
I mean,
Also, are we getting?
Yes, Drakiar, do you have an answer to my question?
Drekir, roll me knowledge.
What you mean, history?
Sure. Knowledge history works. 13. You know that that, like, or at least you've read that vampirism is contagious, that it can be through sort of a ritual of sorts passed on to other people. You also know that the lycanthropy or therianthropes, were creatures, do have the ability to pass on their affliction to others.
Be fatal.
Do I know how controllable lycanthropy is?
You know, Bodak is getting a hand on it. Back at the kingdom. But he's the only Therian that currently exists in Autometh.
guys, we do have to consider one more thing.
One more thing.
Thank you. If we are going to be turning her into a monster, we have to consider the fact if she wants to in the first place.
Well, yeah.
Any options before we present them to her?
Oh, good. You were gonna give her the choice. Okay, good.
Tom Barry's
You will
murdered
accept
in
my
the soup
protection. I will turn you into a monster.
Look, if it was possible for me to turn her into a Genasi, I'd do it right now. But
I'm not going to say what I could turn her into because that's not a helpful sentence right now. I mean, relatively not helpful considering her namesake, but
no.
I do not understand why we are going through such lengths to help a human.
Oh, man.
Talon looks at Alloy.
Well, listen here, Bucket of Bolts Brigade. We got a lot of shit to do right now. One of which,
Talon looks at Alloy. Not all humans. Alloy.
Not all humans. Yeah, because Caleb's half human and Talrand was once a human being.
Yeah.
And died on the hill.
Human, monster, elf, dwarf, whatever, it doesn't matter. I can't myself leaving a child to die out in the wilderness.
yeah, I was gonna say Caleb took kind of some offense to what Alloy said. It's just, listen here, Bucket of Bolts Brigade. You can say whatever you want to make yourself feel better, if you even can feel anymore. We
Jesus.
are not leaving the child with them.
Can't. Caleb, that got a little bit personal. Aloy, you have a lot of bad experiences with humans and the species of the enlightened empire, as it were. But not all of them are bad. They are all individuals.
You can kind of see, it looks almost like Aloy's eyes are narrowing a little bit. Like he's kind of really thinking about it. He doesn't really say anything.
His eyes narrow.
Fans go on overdrive as they eating.
So, we have some options. We can turn Claire. We can attempt to drop her off at a village. Or, since abandoning her is kind of not an option, we can try to leave her somewhere safe-ish. Or take her back to Adamet and turn her.
Well,
So, let's...
we gotta do this whole long-ass quest.
Hopefully, in short order, we will get to a location, free a bunch of slaves, and we can send her back with them.
There we go. But do we want to take a human child with us the entire way? We're going to have to sneak and do stuff that I don't think this little thing can do.
We can't send her back with the rescued slaves because if we do, we'd be
I'm
sending
not
her
saying that
direct.
You, I'm saying that we drop her off in the nearest town.
We'll attach her.
All right.
We
Well,
go into a tavern,
rather to-
buy a
and the
meal, we
king-
leave the child behind, we walk out. Hey,
Send her back. We'll probably send her directly to the king's throne room. And you know how the king feels about humans.
I mean, the only reason you let
Go
Bodog
for the
is
crap
because
out
he
of
was
her
half
and then listen.
here.
The king, while angry, has never been shown to be without reason.
I mean,
And if we send her back with the group, with their knowledge of why and how and what we're doing when we send her back, then it shouldn't be a problem. No more than potential terrifying the crap out of her for a little while.
All right.
But the majesty of the king, I'm sure, will, win out in the end.
All right. I have an idea.
Hmm.
We do as you suggest. We send her back with the slaves. But I think it would help if one of us went back with her. Sorry, Evan. Sorry, Esteban, I know you said something, but unfortunately I was a bit distracted. How about I go back with her?
We would send her back with the group of slaves, and we would explain to them what would be going on. And you have your own reasons for being out here and exploring things, don't you?
Well,
also, won't
yes.
the king get mad if part of our group goes back and leaves without
Yeah.
us?
Splitting the party is a big no-no with the king.
He specifically sent us out here.
All right, and I just turned to Pebbles, and yes, and you're so swift to remind me almost every day that I'm not good at my name, that I'm not good at my profession.
I said we're not good at sneaking. You're good at other stuff. You picked the cuffs.
Uh-huh.
You're just not that great at sneaking. But you don't have to be. You can fly.
Sorry. Do we need to have a out-of-character moment about the discussion on this topic, guys?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
It was getting a little bit tense,
Mhm.
No,
because it sounded kind of like you wanted out of the party, Palantir,
no,
because you were getting ragged on, so I just wanted to...
Yeah.
no. That's out the window. All right.
Because you going back is not really an option.
Yeah.
And get you out of the game for a good chunk of time, considering we're going on a handful of side quests after this.
Yeah.
We're going on all of the side quests after this.
Really, all at once?
I'm sure
We're gonna 100% this run.
one of these towns will have a place we can leave this child that is safe for it.
The plan was to jump here.
I
Then
mean-
I think took over to here, and then up to either Alora or Frankenbill, and then Egris, and then we have to go to over the Egris, and then we go back to the kingdom. That was the plan.
I
Yep.
hope we have a teleport scroll along the way. All right.
Yeah, we have one over here for teleporting all of the slaves back to the kingdom.
I meant another one.
You don't
You
have
have-
another one.
Nope, we only have one.
We'll find.
Our set path has us just right outside the forest. From that point, it's not that long a walk
Well, yeah,
back
we're
to Autometh.
Here, aren't we?
Right now, you guys are right there.
Oh, there.
You are just north of Ibraniel, between there and the trees.
All right.
We're going
And I mean,
about somewhere
back
around here
uh,
to
Detour to a Braniel to burn a brothel to the ground.
Guys. What
What?
about that farmer we ran
Oh,
with the cow? He seemed real nice. We could probably leave the kid with him.
That's a full
Explain what
day's
was going
travel
on.
back.
It's
That
only
is-
a day, though. That's not that bad.
That is a full day's travel in the opposite direction, and then a full day back to where we are now, where they will probably be looking for their lost men and
True.
person.
We do not want to be in this area for a while.
Okay, then.
We want to get out of here and not look back until we have to travel back over this path to Ikris. By then, the hunt should be over.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing here is we should offer this discussion to Claire.
fair.
So we're not just abandoning her in the area now. We're not killing her. That's not a thing that's happening.
Wait,
Oh.
put that
Um,
option on the table.
That option was never on the table. That is just technically an option.
Put that option on the table. Anyway,
Right.
right.
That table, that option was brought before the table and then thrown on the ground. It was never on the table.
Baby back ribs.
No.
No pistols. So we either talk to her and ask her if she wants to be left with somebody, or if she wants to be turned into a monster through either one or two different options, and come back with us and be turned into a monster. Yes. Any complaints?
And she you give her the option of basically you taking her to a town or bringing her along with you with the promise that eventually she'll become a monster. She her eyes widen and she goes, "You could turn me into a monster like that?" And she points at Pitfalls. She goes, "What about like that?" And she points at Drakir, could you make me a dragon? Can I be a dragon person?
Not
Can
really.
No, as far as I'm aware, the only two monsters that we could that could be passed on to someone else would be Thropevia, or one and only werebear, or vampirism.
There is another option, but we're not bringing it up yet.
What's vampirism?
You look like a normal human, except you have some, blood red eyes. You can see really well in the dark.
And sharp pointy teeth.
Sharp, pointy teeth.
And eat people.
have-
Kind of.
You have to drink blood.
You.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Okay.
And the
People taste much better as jerky.
But
sunlight.
it might allow you to fly.
Ooh.
But I must.
And then
I've heard of that.
she
I
looks
think
to Caleb and goes, "Are you a vampirism?
No.
You can
No,
fly though.
No, I'm what's known as a genasi.
Are your teeth sharp?"
All right, so my teeth smell like shark yet?
She gets really close in and touches her nose to your chin as she looks at your teeth.
She can't see fuck all because it's pitch black outside,
That's why she gets close.
But she
and
gets real
we
close.
have no torches.
Well, her eyes
Like,
going
no,
to her eyes would eventually adjust to the dark. She wouldn't be able to see particularly well, but she could still see.
Well, Doc said this was like a new moon kind of night. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how well your eyes adjust.
It's
There's no
very
light
dark.
to see.
And she goes, okay, can I turn into a flyman like you?
Unfortunately, no. I'm the byproduct of what happens when a human falls in love with a primordial spirit.
What's
So basically-
primordials?
Basically, a person made of either fire, rock, water, or air.
Whoa. There's people made of rocks?
Yep.
Yes,
Can I be a people made of rocks?
unfortunately, no.
Aw.
Something I get born
I
into.
know.
She pouts.
Well,
Point out there is one very big thing you would be leaving out if she wanted to become a vampire.
oh
The
yeah,
sun-
No sunlight.
sunlight.
But you could see in the dark. This wouldn't be a problem.
See, when you become a vampire, sunlight is going to burn you. It's going to be deadly.
Vampires don't sound nice.
Depends on who you speak to.
Yeah. They're polite. Usually.
But I like sun, and I don't want to drink blood. It sounds gross.
She'd get Tom berries and
Yeah, Keldaka, roll perception.
Maybe.
That was from like
Also,
a while
thank
ago.
you. Also, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it.
Huh.
Snake's digging body holes by the river.
Oh, that forgot I turned that
While
on.
everybody's having this talk. Yeah. So
Might be the way to go.
with an 11, yeah, you can hear the conversation they're having with the kid, on the other side of the stream.
I mean, we're not trying to hide it from you. We're just trying to from her.
Keep your voices down, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
The last
might be the way to
option.
go.
Did we discuss the last option?
What's there's another?
Lycanthropy?
What's the scariest monster you can think of?
Like,
Cool.
and she puts her hands up in the air and she's like, a big, like a shadow that lives under beds and stuff.
What about a skeleton?
Skeleton?
Wait.
All right, I'm just
Yep.
before
Walking
you
around
drop to the
and
skies.
talking.
Before
I'm
you
not
drop-
dropping to the skies yet. I'm being oblique for a reason.
All right,
Just let him talk. Can we get David Bowie to turn Claire into a goblin?
Yes.
You ask her what she thinks of skeletons, and she goes, I don't know. I've never seen a skeleton. It's like bones.
Our home is ruled by one.
Yes, he's a big.
you're
There's bones in
He's a little bit
charge.
scary, but he's a little bit scary, but he's really big. And
Your leader is Bones.
He's got fire for eyeballs. It's cool.
Ooh.
He is king.
You have a king?
King is good.
Snake's in love with him.
Snake is not in love with King.
You adore him. You worship him. You love him.
The first two, yes. The last one, no.
She turns to Snack and goes, ooh, you love your king.
Yes.
All that big up for a bit, all that build up for a big reveal, and then sidetracked.
Talrand is unfortunately traveling with a group that is mostly idiot children, so there's...
Hey.
I want
Yeah,
to turn
fucking
to
breathe.
Claire. I want to turn to Claire and just
Mhm.
say,
You come with us. We keep you safe. We send you back to meet King. King, not a big fan of people, but King hates
No.
slavers more.
You're not a big fan of human people.
Your king
Humans.
doesn't
It's
like
not a big
humans?
Stop interrupting Snack.
The Monster King doesn't like humans. Why?
Because some humans, like the ones who wanted to hurt you, are bad. But the only thing the only thing King dislikes more than people is people who would do the kinds of things that they wanted to do to you. King will take care of you. King is good.
Okay.
Maybe
That
we should
sounds
tell him
nice.
Like Snick is absolutely convinced, by the way. Like this isn't like no, he is absolutely convinced that because the child's basically abandoned and like they were going to do horrible things, that after seeing what the king did to the last slaver, the king would have no problem with child. He absolutely believes that this would be an exception.
I wish I had the message spell. This would solve so much. Just I could fucking ask the king directly.
Oh, he's way too far for that.
Oh no, message spell has no. Sorry, sending.
Yes,
spell.
The sending spell, yes.
Sending spell's a little different.
just
Who
how
has
about
the-
Discord at Black King that someone wanted to add. Peas.
So you come with us, and King will take care of you.
Who has the essence?
We'll figure it out.
I think that's me. Yeah.
Also, Snack,
Yes,
could you not just commune with the king to confirm?
I don't.
Fuck it! Yeah, the king's his patron. He has the commune spell.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to. I'm just waiting for you guys to figure this one out. Like it's.
I have a what spell?
It's a cleric spell. It lets you commune. It lets you speak with your deity. It usually gets ignored a lot of the times because deities are vague as hell, but your deity lives on this plane and actually speaks like a person.
Commune is a level 5 spell.
I was gonna say I don't have that spell.
Yeah. That
Damn.
lets you commune directly with your patron. However, being as your patron is not a fickle god, you all do carry the mark of the Black King on you. And Sneck, you do draw your power directly from the king's essence itself. I'm just looking through your items right now. You have a holy symbol on you.
Yep.
I don't know, try stuff.
Religion roll, I guess,
Yeah.
to try and see if I can get in contact.
Yeah, you can give it a
Not my
shot.
best at, but yeah.
Religion.
Religion. You kind of like plop yourself down, and gripping your holy symbol with both of your hands, you reach out with your mind in an attempt to commune with the Black King. And after about a minute or so of maintaining your concentration, you feel his eyes upon you.
I'm going to try to think about the child and images of what the people wanted to do to said child, and then also the idea, like the putting the emotional concept of wanting to protect the child, and then curiosity, like, is this a thing we can do?
As you feel the sort of the king's attention on you, and you impress these feelings out into the realm that, like, you know, this child was meant for bad things, and you have an interest in protecting it. You sort of get like a bit of. It's hard to tell because you're not sure if these are your emotions or if these are the king's. Sort of feeling through you. But it's as close to what you think might be a yes.
Okay.
Like,
So
that keeping the child safe is good. However that is. Keeping the child safe is something that he supports.
Okay.
What's
I
your
gotta ask, was he getting this kind of noise for the minute or so that he was channeling?
And you just hear out of the holy symbol.
Sorry, I don't have a good connection here.
I'm in the bath.
I got a feeling Cutie's gonna have some more fan art for us in a bit moment.
Someone please clip it. Someone please clip it.
I can breathe again. Oh, fuck.
Get off
Well,
the
there goes the
computer. I'm
tension.
talking to a
Oh, man.
Leave a message.
New phone, who this?
So I
Oh,
will,
fuck.
I'll break it. I'll leave the prayer basically,
Mhm.
and then I'll turn to everyone else and I think how would I phrase this?
Snack reached out to King, and King seemed. We protect Claire.
So King's okay with sending Claire back?
We protect
Okay.
Claire. We keep
Yes,
we
we'll
keep Claire
protect
safe.
I guess it'll help disguises because then we look like we're both children.
But
If we put enough
also-
makeup on Snack, we could just look like a trio of kids.
No, I got a tail that doesn't bend.
I could cast Minor Illusion on you. It's a cantrip.
You could do that. I can't do that to myself though.
the thing is about minor illusion, you have to keep
You got to keep
every
it up.
minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's fortunately does not have a vocal component, so it's very easy to just
Yeah.
just sneakily do it.
Gibbs.
But it's every minute that you have to recast the spell. So
Yeah. It's something you have to
Having to-
constantly be like focused on.
yeah, it's not concentration, but to use it the way we have been, basically you can only really do it on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep it up on both you and someone else, that's going to
We should
basically you'd be constantly casting a spell with no break.
leave here before more people come and look.
Yes. Let's bury the bodies.
Thank you.
Well, I took a look.
Uh,
No one was coming, but yeah, we might want to move.
bury the bodies and move.
Not a good idea
Claire?
to camp here.
Yeah, buried bodies.
We
We'll
we
just
called
hide
King
them in
and-
the bushes.
Snack has spent this long digging a hole. We will finish the hole.
I'm going to help Snake finish.
I mean,
Uh,
one
the,
week.
king, the king says it's okay for you to come with us, Claire. Do you want to come with us?
Keep you safe. No more bad people. Just nice king.
You want to come over for a sleepover? Mom says it's okay.
yeah, and the kids just kind of just going along, just like uh-huh.
Big problem I'm seeing with this though is we're going into a war.
We're going into hopefully one expedition, which we can hopefully leave her relatively safe outside in a secluded nook, and then she's safe and out of our hair.
Yeah, but it probably
That-
means we need somebody to stay behind and watch her because I don't feel safe leaving a child all alone.
We'll just
Hmm.
we can
We'll figure
put
it
her
out.
someplace safe when we get there. We're not just going to abandon her and leave her in a village. If that's not what she wants. Claire, did you want to come with us?
You guys seem really nice.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
Because I got no problem with taking her. It's just I'm worried that she may end up getting hurt.
How about this?
Claire, we might go into something that's dangerous, and when we are going there, we might find a small secret nook to put you in, and you'll have to promise us that you'll stay there until we come back to get you. Do you think you could do that?
She kind of like, okay, and like nods.
Does Alloy have any compartments? Like, how do you? I was gonna say, couldn't we just? No, I guess we couldn't hide her.
I will not carry the child.
You could hide her. In
But I was gonna be like,
Talron's
you have any
ribcage.
trunk space?
Trunk space.
He's a.
He's not Bender.
But,
Yeah.
No, but Talrand is apparently.
Yeah, you just hide her in Talron's ribcage. You'll have to take out all the bees, of course.
Unfortunately,
how do
Alloy.
we get honey? I put the flowers in there so there could be bees, and then we could get honey.
She suddenly gains a level in druid and tames the bees.
So can it be assumed we have buried the bodies and are going to continue on our pathway?
Yes.
We have officially adopted a
yeah.
child.
So you guys have buried the bodies in sort of haphazard graves next to the stream, and move a ways down the stream in the middle of the night to try and keep yourself secluded as you travel along. Talron, give me a survival check. 18, dope. So not only are you aware of like the fact that sticking to the stream is probably a smart move because it will hide any scent that you guys have in case they bring hounds or any other kinds of things to track the child, but you actually instruct everybody to walk in a straight line down the stream, as that will hide your tracks. You guys travel for about an hour and a half, 2 hours down the stream, find another sort of like thickly bushed, reeded area, and pack in for the rest of the evening.
All right.
This time, my explorer's pack does have a tent. I'm setting that up for.
Sure, yeah. You set up the little tent, and are you going to put the kid in the tent, or are you sleeping in the tent?
I'm setting it up for Claire so she can sleep in it, so she's not immediately viewable.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you stick her in the tent, and everybody calls it in for the night.
All right, before we do,
Mhm.
I'm just going to turn to Alloy and Piffles, and it's just, look, things got heated back there. I'm sorry for what I said.
It's okay. You have to tell me though if I say shit that bothers you. I'm not like good at picking up that shit.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't so much what you said that's starting to callous over. I just don't like people bringing my heritage up as a negative.
Oh, it was the human thing. Okay. And like I don't mean that as a bad thing. I just know that the king doesn't like humans, so meh.
Humums.
Well, now I'm starting to see why. All right. Good night.
Night.
And the rest of the evening passes relatively without incident. As the day begins to break the next morning, you guys find yourself standing in just once more that like, hold on, I gotta move us down the long line of things I've made. There we go. Ta-da. You guys make your way up out of the stream, and as you are sort of making your way further east, you see a path that is on the road.
But we actually broke camp.
Okay.
Talron wanted to sit down with Claire and say, okay, so you said you weren't particularly scared of the skeletons.
Uh-huh.
I am one, and I'm going to show you what I look like behind the mask.
You're wearing a mask? And she starts pawing at your face.
This is the morning, so she can see again.
Oh, yep. But she's a child, so she's like grabbing at your face. Are you still wearing your illusion right now?
No, I'm not. I have the wooden mask on all the time.
Oh, you have the wooden mask on. Oh, okay, yes. Sorry. So, yeah, she just goes, ooh.
Take the mask off and show her my face.
She is, at first, cautious. and kind of leans to one side and then leans to the other as she gets a better look at you from different angles. And then she sort of like pokes at your tummy where your clothing is, and your clothes kind of dip in. And she goes, "How do you eat?"
I don't, actually.
You
I
don't eat?
No. I miss eating.
Oh, you miss it?
Yeah.
What did you used to eat?
It's been-
Did you like stew?
Yes, I like stew.
I'll just realize that Stu could also be a name.
Piffles
She-
ate the other kind of stew.
slowly she kind of gets acclimated to the situation, like little by little, moment by moment. She sort of kind of gets into it, like, okay, yeah, all right, and she like looks at you again from one angle, looks at you from another, like,
I can do some really fun things, like poking my finger in my eye. I actually stick my
Oh.
finger in my eye.
whoa, and it kind of goes through the little glowing light that's that holds that space in your skull, and she goes, "Can I poke your eye?"
Yes, you can poke my eye.
Ooh, and she like steps, and then just both fingers like in each eye socket, just blah, 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 like she just like,
Like small child given a fun toy?
yeah, she's
Yep.
just like jams them in and out, both fingers, like one index finger per eye socket, just blah, 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 blah. And after a moment, she just like, whoa.
I can also, and
How
I
do you
reach up and
see?
take my hand and disconnect my hand. I can also take my hand off.
What? She's like looking around.
I can
at
put my
you.
arm back on. You can't.
So play it safe. She like continues to kind of eye you from different angles, and is just like astounded by all the fun things that you're doing. That really, to a child of her age who doesn't like understand what death and fear is, it's a very sort of just novel situation. Like the whole thing is just extremely fun. And she keeps kind of like looking at you from all these different angles, and yeah, she's just enamored.
And then bring up my berries to share with Claire, Snack, and Piffles.
Mm.
Oh, she just devours whatever berries you give her. She's fucking like, not in a way that you would know that goblins kind of mush them in their face hole, but she like grabs just as many as you will give her and just like blah 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 blah.
Oh, like goblins.
Yeah.
Okay, there you guys are.
I'm gonna eat
Oh hey,
some
sorry if you dropped out.
turkey.
Oh, computer froze.
Oh no!
Oh,
Good. I think I got it.
Did you get a chance to hear what happened with the eye socket?
You mean with the
Yeah, that's okay.
That was fucking great.
that I heard.
So yeah, as the sun starts rising and you guys are enjoying your berries and rations, it is a clear day. There's like maybe a few clouds in the distance. It is bright and beautiful, and the kid seems to be in good spirits.
Right.
And yeah, as you guys though continue to travel east to kind of go past, finish going past Branule rather, and then turning south, you guys get sort of just to the other side of where the city is, and are met in the distance. Actually, if you guys can do me a perception, let's everybody do me a perception. Caleb has got me a 15.
Actually, that was for earlier. I can do another one if you want.
You can keep it if you want. If you
Yeah,
think-
right.
Okay, yeah. So we got
I
15.
am blind. The sun's in my eyes.
I have been rocking the perception rolls tonight.
Yeah, you've been killing it.
I actually
so-
perceived things.
Esteban,
Never
you
had-
got over 20, so you catch it first. Piffles, you and Alloy very quickly catch it as well. In the distance, as you guys have found like a road that actually goes around Abraniel and then cuts south. It's a pretty small path, and it's actually quite nice. You see like a tree on your left side as you're going along. It's beautiful out. But you guys all see it in the distance first. It is the march of a huge force of
Shit.
Empire troops.
Going which direction?
Running?
They are coming straight at you.
So running, hiding, run.
If you guys were going in the south and east direction, these guys are moving pretty much straight west. Now you have a handful of options. You could attempt to hide in the field, but Esteban, Talrun would know that with this many soldiers moving in this direction, especially considering the fact that you have a child with you, it would be very risky to attempt to lay low in the grass or find some place where they wouldn't see you. Even if your disguise is held up, you have a child in your custody. This could prove to be extremely, extremely trying. Or at least it would be hard for you to talk your way out of. To your immediate south and west of you, in the distance, you do see Abraniel.
Shit.
I don't think we got much choice here.
If you made swift on your movement, like if you walked quickly, odds are the army would continue moving in their direction and you could move. It would be risky, but you could move through Abraniel. And then continue south.
What do you guys think?
So, okay, Doc, how difficult would you say it would be for me to maintain minor illusion on both me and Claire?
It's challenging, but you could manage it.
So how big is this army?
Actually, wait, no, because you have to concentrate on it in order to cast it.
It's
You
not a
don't-
Yeah.
it's not a concentration.
minor illusion?
Oh.
Oh no, it just lasts a minute. Yeah, it's just a minor
you have to
illusion.
constantly cast it.
I mean, it definitely would take your concentration to maintain both of them, but you would be able to do it.
As
Hold on.
long as we're not in combat, I'd be fine, right?
Yes.
Hold on, I got another idea. Just obviously applying the makeup to the face. Also gonna go through the disguise kit again, looking for a wig for Claire.
How
Like-
big is this army?
Well, Claire's already a human child. This army, because you got a good perception, Alloy. This army you're looking at maybe 200 men.
Oh yeah, we can take them.
What?
And they're carrying flags, shields, full plate, and they are marching in formation. There is a gentleman who's, like, you see way in the fucking distance, but you see a gentleman on a horse leading the army.
I think this is DM's way of saying, get into a brand new idiots.
Well, you don't have to. Like, you could hide in the field, but there will be difficulties in doing that. There's also going to be difficulties with going to the town or attempting to confront the force of troops.
Snack votes that we go to the town and just tell anybody who asks that I was chasing the child when you caught me.
Calendros says, throw the king's essence at them. This is a message from the bad idea fairy.
If we just tell people that Snack got caught trying to chase a child, and that we were bringing the child home.
Oh, it just occurred to me.
We don't need to disguise Claire.
What's up, Director?
No, we.
Me
No.
and Snack said-
Okay, here's a couple things. We do have to disguise her, because remember, the brothel is still looking for her in this city.
So we have to change her hair and like make her look like a different kid. 'Cause she's got red hair, which is like easy to spot.
Hence
I-
So we aim to go to the city now, folks, so we should start walking.
But what I was trying to say is, if the thing is, if we're hunters who caught Sneck, we have to explain why we're not turning him in at this city.
We're returning to our hunter base. Pretty simple.
I have an idea. And this is going to take some lore. Doc,
Yes.
does every city in this nation, does it have some sort of underground network? Like for rogues, brigands, thieves, that sort of thing?
Yes. Roll me. Do you have, like, skills and knowledge?
Well, let's see here. I have deception, insight, perception, sleight of hand, and stealth, so no.
History?
I'm gonna say that...
It'd be a history check, I think.
Yeah.
No history.
Well, I mean, you can still roll it. You just don't have,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
you
hold
can still roll it. You just don't have like a specific thing. But roll it with advantage for me, because you used to live on the surface, and you used to frequent some of these towns. I mean, as much as you could with your given sort of half heritage.
All right. 3, 2, 1, plan.
Okay, so with a 13, you do know that a lot of the major towns and cities like this, that they have, like the larger settlements, do have an underground. There is some kind of, I mean, some of them a bit more expansive than others, but there is like a thieves guild kind of situation where there would be like secret basements under certain taverns where people would have clandestine conversations about picking off so-and-so or dealing with such and such.
And safe to say some of those, or at least some, if not all of those areas, could possibly be used as safe houses and are marked off with this.
Thieves can. Some of them would be. You don't know if there's one here, but there might be one.
All right, in that case, I'm just going to turn to the group. Guys, if we go in there, odds are we may find a site. We may find a safe house or something. We can lay low until dark. Then we can keep moving. It's not the best idea, but it's an idea.
Let's go with it.
Sure.
All right.
How up to date is the research material the Autometh would have access to?
You don't know. The research material that you've been able to access that discusses things about the surface is a bit sparse. And not all of it is for public consumption.
So if I wanted to make a history check, it'd probably be at disadvantage.
That would be correct. Or at the very least, I can just set a higher DC for it, depending on what you're asking.
I wanted to know if I was wondering if I would have any more precise details about whether or not this town had a safe house.
Oh, if this town had a safe house, from the books that you've read, you would not know. A lot of the books that you read were very vague on life on the surface.
Okay, yeah, so
That, and if you could find it in a book, they would have moved it by now.
Yeah.
it could have been a thieves, like some kind of document a thief wrote of all the safe houses for thieves. But
Thieves Almanac Monthly.
And then that thief probably got murked for writing down where all the safe houses are.
if he got caught.
We are on our way to the town right now, though.
Yeah.
Just to make this clear.
So yeah, as you guys see the army approaching, it's enough in the distance that like you get the idea that it's a sizable group of people, and either they haven't seen you or they just haven't taken notice of you yet. Talrand, you would know that large forces like these still very occasionally patrol the borders of the Empire and some of the paths within the Empire. It is to challenge any possible threats, but mostly it's a show of force. It's very much what you would call a theater of safety, giving people the idea that their empire is being protected by, these these large forces of people and that their authority is just. But yeah, you guys seen these dudes and like immediately hang a hard right and start heading towards the town. As the sound of their boots fades into the distance over time, you return to your attention as you keep moving along. You don't necessarily wearing the disguises is a good idea, but you don't necessarily need to very seriously sort of bluff that you're moving in that direction. You're just a small group of adventurers which very quickly got out of the way of some soldiers, and that is as far as they're concerned very, very normal behavior. As you guys turn, you make your way down and along a path which leads you to the edge of Ebraniel. Narrowly avoiding the force of troops that were just nearly behind you, you make your way along to the large gated areas that make up the city proper.
And now there's a dragon.
Now there's
God damn it!
Fuck.
Before we do,
Oh, don't worry, that's just my Uncle Steve.
I would suggest that somebody who has the skill in it takes time to dress Claire significantly different, because she stands out as a you said bright redhead child.
Yeah, bright redheaded child. She's wearing like pretty tattered, at this point very muddy nightie. Like she's just got like cloth pajamas on. A little moo.
My clothes would probably fit her.
Maybe.
Do you have any other clothes other than the clothes you're wearing?
Let me take a look. I think I do have clothes in my bag. Hang
Did
on.
anybody take some stuff off the halflings?
We just took off the jewelry. Do we really want to cover the kid in raunchy jewelry?
That was the slavers, not the
that had the
halflings.
chunky
Oh,
jewelry.
what? Wrong
The
thing.
halflings.
No, we did not keep any of the leather armor off the halflings.
I am a bard. I have 2 costumes. We can put her in a costume.
Pip, I was going to say, you have a disguise kit as well, don't you?
Yes, I
don't
do.
know.
But we could
Yeah.
put her in a gobbo costume. Like, not a goblin costume, but one of my
It'd
costumes.
probably be better if she wore your regular clothes and you got into your costumes as a bard.
My regular clothes are like a leather vest, mismatched stockings, and like a weird layered, like shorter in the front skirt, longer in the back skirt, and a leather pouch belt. Like, plus pack on my back. Like, it's pretty much a costume already.
For the costume.
But yeah, you guys think that like using
I'm sure I have a peasant's costume in here.
yeah, like using some of the like if anybody wants to roll me intelligence, his cloak would be too small for Claire. Yeah, if you guys want to like try an intelligence check, you could try to cobble together. Yeah, okay, so like using some of the like
I have a dress in here, I think.
yeah, like you might have like a dress and like Drakir and Caleb, like using some of the stuff from like the tent, you managed to haphazardly fashion some kind of outfit.
I actually have a set of traveler's clothes that, since I wear my armor most of the time, I don't actually change my clothing.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have any of your daughter's clothes with you?
No. I haven't traveled with my daughter since I've been dead. So
no.
So
and
that's
I'm actually fairly
side
visibly
no.
still wearing the stuff I died in.
Yeah. Yeesh. But yeah, if you actually have an extra pair of clothes from your character sheet, then yeah, like everybody together, sort of working as a group, can manage to, using disguise kits and some of the spare clothing and like maybe some of the things from the tent kit that you've got, sort of cobble together an outfit for Claire, as well as maybe putting some like temporary dye or something like that to give her black hair instead of red.
Shoes. I could probably dye her hair with some of the the blueberries dye her hair?
You have a
might
disguise
have
kit
purple.
that has dye in it.
Okay, well I used a disguise kit. I didn't realize. Oh wait, I have that blonde wig from the disguise kit. We could put that on her.
You could also do that. Sure. Okay, so you've put a little blonde wig on her. and you've managed to cobble together an outfit. Is there anything else that you guys want to do? Like, you guys are using
I'll get my disguise back on.
yeah, like get your all your disguises and everything like that. Everybody's casting their spells. Ally's got his face wrapped up. And Caleb, you are going to be using your disguise kit to kind of give yourself a more of a human complexion. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And yeah, so you guys make yourselves ready, gird your loins, in some cases literally, and head on into the edge of Ibranul. And it's just about 11 o'clock, so ladies and gentlemen, on that, I'm going to call it. Which
Yay!
makes me sad, because I had, like, just a huge fucking village like,
That's okay. We will have all the time to explore.
set up
Keep it going.
for later as a thing that we can check out. So I'm very excited to get you guys introduced to, like, the village proper, and to see all kinds of fun content. But yeah.
Quick question. Is the currency of Autometh any different from the currency of the Empire?
Oh.
I don't know.
Aha, gotcha, DM.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's gold coins. I mean, each of the king's gold crowns that they use, the money that's used there, I'm gonna say is the same currency as the stuff you would see on the surface, mostly because it's all just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's all just, like, it's stamped gold and silver and copper, and I don't think he would have a need for creating a different currency specifically for his kingdom. So yeah, it's like all of the coins that you guys have are all, standard Empire currency.
Assuming the Empire didn't, stamp on its coins, Humanus Supremus, the king probably would give a fuck.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not too worried about it just being different. I'm worried about it being like, if the king had it stamped with anything minted in such a way that would give it away that we're actually monsters.
Yes, of course. No, it's standard currency.
Like if it's stamped monstrous from it.
Yeah. Like all of your coins are stamped with an angry-looking skull.
They all glow with a blue flame.
And
Because-
yeah, so there we go.
Nice.
That is our game for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claire, the
Yeah.
unexpected addition.
Acquired Claire. So great success for the day.
Great
You guys
success. You acquired Claire,
and
you killed two
back-
crazy assholes, you caught a cow and returned it to its owner, and you avoided dealing with a very large army of people. Well, I say very large, but it's a fantasy realm. Ew, excuse me. Jesus Christ. I'd like to say two words without being gassy. It's a fantasy realm, so it's hard to tell whether or not, like, 200 people is a lot or not.
I mean, back in the days, yeah, that's
like
that's a pretty big, sizable army.
in medieval England, 200 men was a big fucking group of dudes. Like, that was an army.
Yup.
If you've ever read the Greek histories and whatnot, and you've heard that they had tens of thousands of men in their armies, they're lying through their teeth and don't
Oh, yeah.
believe them.
Like,
Yeah.
some of the biggest wars that took place between England and the Danes as the Danes were coming over was like 1,000 men per side. And that was all of England was able to raise an army that was roughly 1,000 men. So-
Whereas some of the Greek stories were like, oh yes, we had armies of
Like-
500,000 men.
Doc,
That's like a majority of
I
the
think
human
Eris may be a little overtuned.
Why? Mr.
What'd she
Classic.
do?
She
It timed out Mr. Classic Magic because he was spamming stuff. I tried
Well,
to do the
not
rifle
even-
thing. I don't think it worked. Oops.
Yeah, it was just he did the raffle setup, and it's like
Yeah, you have to spam like a lot of a particular symbol in order to get it.
he has no repeat symbols except maybe
The zero.
yeah, the zeros. trying to put in the maximum amount for the raffle.
Yeah, that might do it.
Might need to fix that because that is
Yeah,
kind of important.
you have to ask specifically for the certain number of tickets in order to get tickets. But with that, ladies and gents, let's move on over to our Ragaful right now. We have ourselves only 3 tickets in. We've got 2 tickets for Calendros, and Quad has 1 ticket. And
I might be getting one in a moment.
getting these in, yeah, you can do like exclamation points, and it'll tell you how many Daddy Watt bucks you have. You need 5 in order to get a ticket. And yeah, if you just
You don't
do
need the brackets.
you don't need the brackets on it. You just do raffle and then space and then a number. And then it'll buy it. But Mr. Classic Magic, you have currently 33 Daddy Watt bucks. So yeah, you can just absolutely just exclamation point, raffle, space, and then however many you want, and then hit enter. It should work.
It's
Yeah.
huge headache. Just
Every
to
now
get...
and then, Eris will be like, you can use raffle 1 to 10,000 to enter the raffle, but it's like 10,000's the max, so I just set it to the max.
Imagine if someone actually had that many Daddy Watt bucks.
That's a lot of Daddy Watt bucks. God, I wish I had that kind of money. Oh. Cutie, the way that you would receive Daddy Watt bucks is twofold. 1, continue watching the streams. For every 3 hours of stream that you watch, so roughly 1 full stream, you get a Daddy Watt buck for free. The reason why I put this system into place was so that people could donate at like a time when they choose. As well as and then keep their currency for when a game comes up that they actually want to enter the raffle in on, as well as the people that don't have money can still watch the streams in full and then receive points, and then when they have points they can enter the raffle even if they don't have any money. It's just like people that are loyal fans who really like watching the show can be a part of the raffle and whatnot, even if they don't have any money. Like, for example, Eris has 23 Daddy Watt bucks, and Eris has not donated anything to me. So that's how that works.
That goes to show how many streams you've had since Eris went live.
Now, with the donations themselves, the donations are specific in that you need to donate the money after you have been watching the stream for over 20 minutes. Not for if the stream's been running for more than 20 minutes. Like, you have to have been watching for at least 20 minutes. I don't know why the system does this, but it treats everyone who is watching as potential bots. And if you, like, start watching and then 5 minutes in be like, here's 20 bucks, the system won't award you with loyalty points on that because they're like, well, this person could just be a bot and could be trying to get loyalty points and blah, blah, blah. To which my response is, who the fuck cares? But who cares is Streamlabs. Streamlabs cares. So the way they designed this system was in this particular fashion. I'm not a fan, but it is what it is. But yeah, I am seriously considering moving back to our previous system just because while I like people who watch the system enough to have the ability to do that, there's lots of people who have been donating who've unfortunately been missing out on getting points for it because of the weird fucking way that the system does this.
Maybe find another bot to handle it.
Maybe. Well, because it's not a bot, though. It's like, it is Streamlabs. So if we want the donations, which technically go through Streamlabs, to count towards these giveaways, then it has to go through here. If there is a way for me to shut off the, like, 20-minute fucking threshold thing, then I'm going to see if I can figure that out. But otherwise, it is unfortunately something that we're going to have
Maybe do a hybrid. Like, disable the ability to get loyalty points from donations, and you just track that. And then at the end, you go in and check how many people put in tickets
the money
from loyalty points just from watching.
Yeah.
And add that onto your list.
But that's the thing, is that another one of the reasons why we started doing it this way was because I mean, when I'm doing XCOM, it's not such a big problem, but when I'm playing games that are either hard to pause or can't be paused, it is hard for me to then, like, pause the game, close the game, go over to my other thing, and then write down however many donations we received today and who's buying how many tickets and who's buying what tickets for who, and then going over to Roll20 in order to roll for it and all this other stuff. Whereas like Streamlabs is pretty much going to handle like the donations coming in, how many points people get for that, and then they can buy the tickets through Streamlabs, and then they handle the random picks at the end of it, so it's fine. Just the only downside is this weird fucking 20-minute threshold thing that it's doing, which I don't like, but there it is. Yeah. So I just have to try to figure out how to shut off this fucking 20-minute thing. I'm going to be talking with some of our people to see if we can figure that out, because frankly, I've just got my hands full every goddamn day. And blech. Blech.
It's a big mess.
It is, and it's hard because I'm like, when fucking Mr. Classic Magic came in and donated, and I'm like, well, I don't know if you've been watching for 20 minutes, because we'd only been live for like 25, and I was like, have you been watching
remember
since
noticing,
then? Like, I need to go check the loyalty thing. Is that loyalty the number you had previously, or like, is that updated now? Like, I don't know.
It was is unlikely that was it, because I remember seeing the timer at that point. It was like 22 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys another minute to get in, because Mr. Classic Magic's got 4 tickets, Calendros has got 2, and Quad has 1. I just wanted to give my money for the raffle. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Whoa, I'm beating out the Eris AI for hours.
Top 10. Yeah, number 1, Streamlabs, Moobot. Oh, okay, so Streamlabs is number 1. Number 2 is Moobot, which I didn't know that was still a thing. Number 3 is myself. What? Streamlabs apparently watches my stream more than I do, and I'm the one who's doing it, so I fucking guess. Estebane's up there, and then Commander Root. What the? I don't even know who the fuck Commander Root is, and they watch a lot of this stuff.
Commander Root.
Bot.
Oh, Commander Root's probably a bot. Estebane's beating out the bot, though. Also beating out Eris. And then, yeah, there's Tonberry, Naruto-Zuma, Mango Toad, and Mercenary Pen are our top 10. Top 10 viewers. Top 10 anime betrayals. Commander Root's a bot. Okay. Oh, God. It's common on many channels. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I was like, this person never speaks. What's going on?
So we got Streamlabs, Moobot, Commander Root, and Eris.
Yeah, if you take the 2 seconds and just ban Commander Root, you can make sure that they don't accidentally get like gift subs and stuff.
Oh, is that what they're up to?
No, they're technically like information trollers, so they just read everything that's posted in every chat.
Oh, that's creepy as fuck.
Oh yeah, that's why you ban them.
Yep.
Weird. Tonberry, destroy Commander Root.
It's kind of fitting with the sirens in the background.
Yep.
Destroy.
Well, they'll still be in your user list, but they won't be able to get things like accidental gift subs.
You have to have the number of tickets you put in. Yeah, because Kodaka, you're trying to buy 10 tickets. Yeah, you have 19.
It's 5 points.
Do you have to write 10 tickets? Like, do you have to write out the word
no,
ticket?
because like the exclamation raffle 10 should work. Thank you, Tonberry.
Oh, each ticket, like that's the number of tickets he's trying to get. Does he have the 50 points necessary to get 10 tickets?
Okay, yes, no. It is 5 per ticket, and then yeah, each ticket's $5. You have 19, so you could buy 3 tickets. You could do 3.
I misunderstood how that worked.
That's okay. So did I. There we go. All right. Yeah, I was also like, what? For like half a second. All right. So let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. For our games this evening, I just want to not be gross for 10 seconds. Ugh. All right.
You poor human.
For our wonderful games this evening, which are both Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin Edition, and There Came an Echo. All right. Our first winner this evening, as we go in and we close the entries. Ladies and gentlemen, our first evening for the Echo is Kaldaka Gray!
Oh, what is that?
Kaldaka, you've won yourself a copy of There Came an Echo.
I'm going to now go look that up.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
It's a game.
Last, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you back in the pool. It says you've been removed as a winner due to inactivity, but you just ignore that.
Oh, this is the voice activation thing you were talking about before.
Yeah, this is the voice-activated game, which is wacky. All right. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, for winner of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin Edition, Calandros! Congratulations, Calandros! You are the winner!
Now that you've won yourself a prize, what are you going to do now?
Huzzah! Congratulations! And now it is completed. Woo!
Kaldaka won the first game. Calandros won the second. Both the cows won tonight.
Yeah! I had to change my name color just for this stream.
I'm a go Disney World. Yay! You did it. Dark Souls 2, while it is no Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2 is still quite a good game. Yeah, like, I still enjoyed the absolute shit out of Dark Souls 2. It was a fantastic game. It was very well balanced. Like, a lot of it was... I mean, it was... Here's the thing. You're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time playing Dark Souls 2 if you like big swords. If you like using magic, you're going to have a good time playing Dark Souls 2 right up until you start getting into the DLC. In the DLC, they maxed out the resistances of all of the NPC enemies to its maximum potential. So you can't, like... In Dark Souls 2, you can't outright become immune to a specific element, but you can reach a certain threshold where it goes from doing regular damage to, like, no damage whatsoever, like, practically nothing. It goes from doing, like, a few thousand damage to, like, 20 damage. However, you cannot do that with physical damage in Dark Souls 2. So while they increase the physical resistances on all the NPCs, there is no threshold for it to reach that will suddenly tip it into you are practically immune to physical damage. It's how you can basically get special items in, like, the lava area. You just, like, stack a ton of fire resistance, and then you can run on the certain lava spaces to go get, like, different treasures and stuff from different chests. It's quite fun. So it's definitely a good time if you're a lover of big swords. I tried playing, like, a dark caster, a pyromancer, and a sorcerer, and a lightning caster, and just, like, going into any of the DLC, like, all of the enemies were pretty much immune to any spell damage, but then going in with a huge two-handed sword, like, it was a considerably easier fight. But then the guy that designed and leads the projects on all the Dark Souls games is also a huge fan of Berserk, so that's pretty much all you need to know about that. him like them big swords, and he's openly said that, like, the Dark Souls series takes huge notes from the Berserk anime and manga. Rather, the anime is terrible. Last time I tried playing Dark Souls, the game didn't remove the smoke after I hit the first bonfire, even an exit, and I reloaded and wouldn't fix it. Rough. Hopefully this will be a better time for you. And yeah, Claire, it's made by the same people that did Demon Souls. As a fun bit of history, Demon Souls was on track to be the worst game that From Software produced. And then they brought on the current game director that they have for all of their Souls games, or Souls-like games that they've been producing, and he turned the project around, turned it into what Demon's Souls was. And when Demon's Souls first came out, it was met with a lot of the same negativity. A lot of people said the game was too obscure, it was too difficult, and it was shitty, and it was awful, and they were having a really hard time, and they didn't want to play it anymore. All of those people, almost, myself included at the very least, went back on those reviews and said that the game is actually quite fun once you get used to the idea of being smacked in the face over and over. Then you actually win something and you're like, oh, that victory felt amazing. Like, it actually was a lot of fun. Holy shit. And the game turns around. Demon's Souls, I'm actually really glad is getting a remake for the PS5 because it was one of my favorite games that they put out. And I'm super excited to see it redone because it is still one of my favorite games from the Souls series, which was the original Demon's Souls. So, yeah.
Yeah, see, me myself, I can never get into those types of games. I just get frustrated.
Yeah.
And even after I win, I am still pissed and want to break something.
It's like Aaron trying to beat something, just like, even the victory will be bittersweet. Not even the victory will make me feel better.
Unblockable chin move.
Yeah, unavoidable chin move. No, and I completely agree that, like, going into it, I was like, this game's really fucking hard. Why is this so hard? Because, like, every video game for the past, like, 10 years was, like, a fun adventure. And some of it was challenging, but not a lot of it was. And so you get halfway through a game in the PS3, and all of a sudden, it's just, like, shitting down your neck after it cut your head off. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
Those were the first games that got hard since they got rid of live systems and no saves and, like, classic Nintendo.
Yeah, like, because a lot of people started realizing that, like, in order to get folks into video games, you needed to make them more accessible. So they started making games more accessible. It was the reason, like, they ran into this problem, like, at least at Nintendo, they ran into this problem when they were making Mario 2. Like, originally, Super Mario Bros. 2, which is now known as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels,
It was just a level pack.
It was a level pack, and it was punishingly hard. Because a lot of people played the first Super Mario Bros. Game and were like, oh, that game's too easy. This is too easy. This is baby stuff. This is a little baby game. Like, this isn't hard enough. I want to play something hard. And very much like anybody who
responded.
Yeah, and very much like anyone who's played fucking Mario Maker, they were like, "Oh, you think that's fine? Fuck you." And then they made a bunch of levels that were just cruel. Like, the very end of Super Mario Brothers, like the first game, had you doing that, like, stupid sequence of, like, going up and down and moving forward through Bowser's castle in order to get to the fucking end of it. Every single level was like that in Mario The Lost Levels. Like, every level had some kind of, like, secret sequence of shit you needed to do in order to get through it. And there was just, like, this just parade of fireballs and shit being thrown at you, and you had to make these, like, pinpoint jumps in order to get to certain areas. It was a nightmare. And then they put that out, and it didn't even reach the shelves because they let the other developers play it around at Nintendo, and people were like, this is awful. And there was obviously that, like, that top 1%, that, like, elite that were like, this is easy, this is still a baby's game, and everyone else was like, no one's gonna buy this. Like, this is just going to be shitty, and everyone's going to hate it. And so they, like, last minute reskinned a different game that was going to be coming out and called it Super Mario Bros. 2, which is why there's a lot of wacky shit that comes up in Super Mario Bros. 2 that was not at all a part of the Mario canon leading up to that point.
Actually, those games did come out in Japan. The reskinning happened in the US.
Yes. Did they release the Lost Levels in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was
Yeah,
Super
that
Mario
was how you
Brothers
got
2.
them. That's how people ended up getting them later on, was they just imported Japanese copies.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, either way.
They didn't become the Lost Levels until the Super Mario Brothers All-Star Pack on the Super Nintendo, where it was rebranded the Lost Levels for the US.
Yeah, because they sent over a different game called Super Mario Brothers 2 to America, and that was it was ripped off for Bible Adventures. It was
Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah, the engine was ripped off for Bible Adventures. Yes, it was originally Doki Doki Panic, but they reskinned it and was like, here's a new game. This is Mario 2. Pay no attention to this other thing. But yeah, since then, video games had become more accessible over time, and then eventually it got to the point where, they continued making them fun and accessible. Like, look at Nintendo now. It is, like, pretty much accessibility to its fullest extent. And there's nothing wrong with that, because lots of people love it. But there's also, like, a certain sect of gamers that are, like, really appreciate a good challenge from a game. And it is so hard from a game development standpoint to strike that balance between challenging and cheap. Making a game that's hard but doesn't rob the player of victory. Whenever you died in a Souls game, it felt justified. Like, you ran out onto that bridge and that dragon fucked you up. Like, you weren't paying attention to the dragons.
Unfortunately for me, I know it doesn't matter if it was a fair death or not. I am still going to get rightfully pissed.
That's fair. But for myself, I was like, that it felt justified whenever I died to stuff. And then whenever I beat things, it felt vindicating. And it gave me a sense of victory that a lot of games didn't. So, like, it just, and then, like, after I finished playing Demon's Souls through, I went back and, like, bought Dark Souls 1, played through that, and then Dark Souls 2 released shortly after. And I went through that, and I've been having, like, the fucking time of my life ever since. But yeah, they're really fucking hard games, and Jesus, are they scary, but, like, they're fun, and I'm glad that Demon's Souls is getting a remake, because I'm absolutely going to see if we can fund the ability to stream that here. I don't know if I'm going to need to borrow somebody's PS5, because God knows how expensive those things are going to be, and I don't know if I've got the money for it.
I swear, for me, it's a case. PS4, I didn't get my PS3 until the PS4 had come out, and as soon as I get my PS4, almost immediately afterwards, they announced the PS5. It's like, yeah, can you give me 5 minutes with the I
just want to play the games. Fuck. Yeah, the night is long and full of grannies. Yeah, that's Bloodborne.
my experience with the original the first Dark Souls was wandering into the graveyard and then losing all my shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then wandering somewhere else and losing all my shit because there's one path you're supposed to go, and they give you like 4 other paths that you can just lose all your shit without giving you any real indication.
Yup. I made that exact mistake. Like, I was like, okay, so I guess I'm gonna go down this way, and I like found the elevator that went down to where the fucking ghosts were, and got my like shit pushed in by some ghosts I couldn't even fucking attack. And I was like, okay, so what the fuck? And I was like, I guess I don't go that way. And then it like clicked in my head. I was like, oh, the game doesn't bar me from places I'm not supposed to be. And then took the other path into the fucking graveyard and was like fighting off these skeletons. I was like, man, the difficulty really picks up after the tutorial. Jesus. And then after dying a bunch of time to the skeletons, I was like, I didn't even see that there was like a stairway that went up off to the side that like, that's where you're supposed to go. And I was, like, fighting the skeletons and dying, and then one time when I went back to the bonfire, I turned around and saw the, like, 2 undead that you can see from the bonfire, like, up on those steps, and was like, oh, okay. And I went, like, grabbed my souls and then, like, cheesed it up that way, and it was, like, having the time of my fucking life at that point because I was fighting ghosts and crazy huge skeletons up to there. So these guys were like a cakewalk by comparison.
Those deaths feel justified.
Yeah.
You learn from the school of hard knocks.
See, my best variation of that was in Dark Souls 2, I played the sword and board kind of like shield character,
Hmm.
so I had crazy amounts of like stamina and endurance, and I would literally just like lay down the symbol of "Hey, I will come help you," and just face tank my way through bosses for people. And then I got to the chariot fight, where chariot gives no shits how much armor you have.
Yeah, no, the chariot
It'll
will
just run you
absolutely
down.
step on you. It's fucking awesome. I
was too slow.
Calendro says I only bought a PS4 when EDF 4.1 was announced.
Cal,
I
it's just like,
actually
nice.
couldn't get from point A to point B in the chariot race because I was too freaking slow because I was too heavy.
sorry, Kaldaka, it's just what you said earlier with the sword and board thing. It's like thinking just imagine you sitting there with a little cardboard sign that says "We'll tank for food."
Basically,
Or
but I
"We'll
actually
tank for
had
souls."
like at the end of the day, I didn't do a lot of damage. It took me forever to kill anything. But I had a shield, like a tower shield, that actually had 100% physical block.
Yep.
So it blocked everything as far as physical hits.
Yeah,
And
man.
then all of my stats that were beyond the necessary amount of resilience to basically face tank bosses went into like poison resist and everything else. I was basically immune to everything except for it's like decay or unholy or something like that.
And chariots, apparently.
And chariots, who you apparently cannot block.
Yeah, no, they just run you over. It sucks.
And that was the end of my build. I was just like, well, I can tank everything except for that, and I can't
God.
kill that, and I can't outrun that.
Getting to that fight's
shit.
a fucking nightmare too. Jesus. I was gonna go through Dark Souls 2 with Steve at one point. But like the way I'm just happy with how they did matchmaking in Dark Souls 3. That like if I connect to a person's game and they're considerably lower level than me, that it'll match me down to their level. Instead of being like, no, this person got too many souls and leveled themselves up too much, so now you guys don't get to see each other and hang out and adventure together anymore. Which was really unfortunate, but they fixed it in the third one, and then they I'm hoping they continue that into the remake of Demon Souls, so that's a good time. But yeah, the raffle was long since drawn, so I do apologize for that. Anyways, it's like 11:30. I gotta go make me some din-dins.
I need to actually try and get some goddamn sleep.
Yeah. But until then, though, I wanted to give a huge thanks to all of our wonderful people here that we've had with us here today. Going down the list, we got Esteban playing Telrond, our skeleton archer.
Now with 100% more bees.
That's a lot of bees. We got Raynor coming in playing Drakir, our black and red draconian sorcerer.
It was one hell of a bee time.
We got Keldaka Gray coming in playing Snick, our kobold cleric.
King helped Claire. King keep Claire safe. Snack helped Claire.
And we got Quad playing Alloy, our warforged warrior.
I am Alloy, and I hate babies.
And we got MB Saurus playing Piffles, our goblin bard.
People jerky is still good for children. Good for all ages. It's one size fits all. People jerky.
And I have been, hopefully your kind of benevolent DM, Dr. Terrawat, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, and I will see you again tomorrow on our next live stream. End of line.
No.
Hang on, I forgot Palanthir. He's playing our Air Genasi rogue, Caleb. I'm so very sorry. I was literally reading the names on the bottom of the screen. I didn't see it. Fuck! Ah, Jesus!
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, I'm out.